Bentar guys. Outputnya audio video output research base quality. Attention. Udah live streaming kan ya? Cek. Cek. Harusnya udah deh. Oke.
Both Life and Autumn as individuals, I think our names people will remember coming home from Madrid. And as well as that, I think they showed a lot more depth, really implementing that Eurocomp very well, in my opinion. I think this is really indicative of the fact that the Chinese region, the new league, it just kicked off, but these teams are continuing to grow and expand and getting better and better each event they attend.
Yeah, I mean, for Autumn, he was so involved in those early fights. My guy comes out of there with, what, 7 out of 9 opening duels going his way. Yeah. So important in so many of these clutch situations as well, buying the way back through. I've really enjoyed watching this guy play, but well, we don't get to watch too much more of him. It's a little bit sad, but that's ultimately how these tournaments work, how the stakes work here.
But a lot to learn from for this squad now going home to apply to the regular season to try and bring into, because the next time we have a chance to see them internationally would be at home in Shanghai, getting to represent China there. So definitely a great opportunity to improve and try and re-qualify for that event.
Yeah, that will be awesome to see if whether or not they can make it there. And I think indications definitely point in that direction, what you say, Mitch, with EDG and FPX being so strong.
Yeah, I think so. Home field advantages as well. If we do end up getting there, you would be delighted to see this team be able to play with someone behind their back.
All right, folks. Well, with that being said, we have Dryad who's standing by with Sadak for the Verizon post-match interview.
Y que se escuchen los fans de Loud. Let me hear the Loud fans in the back as it is. There you go. Loud takes the win. Es Loud los que toman la victoria en contra de FPX. Estoy aquí con Sadak. I'm here with Sadak for the post-match interview. Sadak, lo primero que te quiero preguntar es, tú has clasificado a más eventos internacionales que ningún otro jugador del mundo, de cualquier región que piensen, y en situaciones de eliminación como esta, ¿hay en algún momento en el que esa frase que ustedes siempre tienen de sin miedo a veces se haga más difícil, a veces sí salga el miedo?
Mira, creo que nuestro equipo, cuanto con más presión tiene, cuanto más las cosas están difíciles para nosotros, mejor performamos, ¿viste? Es mucho la cultura brasilera, queriendo o no, siempre que las cosas están difíciles, continuamos para adelante, continuamos dando lo mejor de nosotros, así que esto solamente nos hace más fuertes.
Yeah, the question that I had for him is, he's made it to more international events than any other player in any other region. And so my question was, in situations like this one, is there a point where he does feel that fear that Loud always have that phrase of no fear? Is there a point where he feels that fear? And he says, in pressure situations like this one, this is when we are able to thrive and shine the most. And it is that Brazilian culture that shines and allows them to come out of situations like this one. Now, the second question that I'm going to ask Sadak is the changes in compositions that we've seen recently, and not only for Loud, we've seen a couple of things here and there, but also this is a tournament that's building up to be very explosive, very in the face, double duelist, Reina, Euro, whatever it is. Is he expecting more of that, and are we expecting more of Loud to bring that? Sadak, por lo que estás viendo de las composiciones, que ustedes han tenido algunos cambios pequeños, de pronto algunos cambios de rol dentro del equipo, pero también el Euro, por ejemplo, que veíamos la primera partida,
Watch
y
party
en
PAKE.
general todos los equipos
Let's
jugando
go.
bastante explosivos, pensamos en Carmine Corp, pensamos en Sentinels, en todos ellos que están en tu cara. ¿Crees que van a seguir trayendo esas sorpresas, ese factor explosivo, y ustedes también van a traer un poco de eso nuevo?
Y yo creo que a medida que la Master se va desarrollando, va a pasar mucho más antitáctico, entonces los equipos van a tener que quizás variar, tener variaciones tácticas, ¿viste? Y jugar solamente apretando la W va a ser siempre un poco más difícil. Pero lo que hace estar acá entre los mejores 8 es eso, que ellos pueden tener muchas variedades, igual que nosotros, a veces jugamos más rápido, a veces más lento, y creo que, bueno, eso. Si les está funcionando ese juego explosivo, que continúen.
Ahí nos está contando, he's telling us that as the tournament goes on, you're going to see a lot more counter-strutting coming through instead of what we're seeing at the beginning. It's something that has happened over and over again, but also mentions right at the end that if there's that explosive factor that is working for a couple of those teams, then they can keep running it. And my last question here is, how is he feeling for the teams that are left, and especially when it comes to a tournament that is so almost unforgiving, only 8 teams and only one that gets to make it till the end, as it is the crowd and the only Hispanic that we have here. ¿Cómo te sientes para lo que viene del torneo? Creo que le hemos preguntado a varios jugadores, varios equipos, y nos dan, incluso los mejores nos dan como opiniones diferentes. Para ti, ¿cómo te sientes? Y especialmente con un torneo que no te da muchas segundas oportunidades, ¿no?
Y mira, yo me estoy sintiendo con mucha confianza. Sabemos que tenemos mucho talento, sabemos que estamos muy bien y vamos a dar nuestro máximo, ¿viste? Así que el que venga, vamos a dar bala y que sea lo que Dios quiera.
¡Vamos, Marito!
I know, he's telling us that he's going to keep bringing what they've been bringing recently, and is just shooting in the faces, doing what it takes, and continuing to have this live performance that we've seen recently. This is all that I have for this interview. Once again, que se escuche para Sada. Give it up for Sada. We're going to a break, get ready for the second match of the day.
Oke, berarti nanti yang di round 3 match itu bakalan udah mulai. Belum. Jadi untuk round 3 itu bakalan Carmine Corp, terus EDG, terus Lot, terus ntar ini yang menang siapa? Siapa sih namanya? TH itu tim Heretic. Sebutannya apa sih tim Heretic? Heretic. Apalah itu. Atau PAKE. Ya semoga aja sih PAKE ya. I hope to PAKE to win, bro. Yo, please, biar gua ada tontonan lagi. Masa ya Sentinel sih kayak bakal menang sih. Gimana ya? Genji top 3 sih Genji bisa ke top 3 anjir.
Position will be considered. He's been there more often than not. But life, free and death against Loud. Is what we got.
Forum. Lihat kan Loud win a trophy. Imagine.
So even though they have the site, they have no ability to do. And Lysol going down.
Nothing spot on.
He makes his appearance known. And that's just perfect again. Has he got the heroics in him? He's got so many targets, so many threats. He can't do it. It's done. FPX will be going home, and Loud live to fight another day.
Belum mulai coy. Santai. Kita lihat forum-forumnya. FPX versus NRG. Maksudnya? Pas di mana sih? Gue lupa anjir. Leviathan kan ya? I have to 2 menit. Aduh, lama banget anjir. Lihat Wilson aja kali ya, Wilson ya. Kita lihat Wilson. Udah. Heretic, gua rasa nih ya. Dia sunset pasti, Lotus pasti. Sunset Lotus pasti. Sunsetnya jago. Dia pasti ngepick sunset. Oke. Nah, sunset oke. Tapi nggak tahu nih, sunset ini ngepick siapa yang ngepick? Oh, Heretic kan sunset. Pasti ngepick sunset. Oke. No kan? Pasti ngepick sunset. Oke. Menurut gue ya. Terus habis itu dia itu bentar, kita lihat. Ban, aduh. Sunset pasti sunset. Map luas ya. Yoru, Neon, pasti Karmin Corp kalau sunset Neon, si Minibu, Seper, Sopa, KO atau Omen sama sih, sama lawan Sentinel kemarin, lawan Karmin Corp juga iya, ini juga Neon, Shaper, Sofa, KO, Omen. Sunset, udah pasti sunset. Kalau dari PAKE, sunset menang PAKE. Baru kebuka 2. Legendnya sama. Oh man, oke. Belum kan? Oke. Ban mendingan di ban aja deh. Asen ini pasti menang, maksudnya ini sama si T1. Lotus split, sunset sih, sunset Lotus. Yang pasti sunset sama-sama kuat. Pasti ngepick sunset. Kalau split Heretic kalah menang. I hope sih ya. Dia itu apa aja sih dia? Oke. Sen Ben Breeze, TH Asen, terus TH Pick Sunset, Ben S-Box, Ben Split. Oke. Oke, Asen. Asen terus dia. Oh, Asennya ini, Cok. Gembel. Heretic Asen itu gembel. TH Pick Lotus, terus TH Pick Split, Ben Asen. Oke. Asen terus dia. No kan? Asen lagi. Gak tahu kenapa. Ini Asen lagi deh. No kan band Asen lagi. Gua nggak tahu reasonnya apa. Breeze. EDG Breeze Sunset. Band S-Box. Sunset. Oke, udah mulai guys.
For match 2 of the day, we'll go ahead and jump in. HyperX, you are higher seed, Team A or Team B?
Let's go.
Team B.
Team B, so PRX, you will be Team A. We will start with your first band.
Breeze.
Breeze,
Yep.
your band.
Kok kayak slow
One
gitu ya?
instant.
And then map number 1 from PRX.
Sunset.
Sunset, side on Sunset.
Defense.
Defense. And map number 2 from HyperX.
Pick Lotus.
Lotus, side on Lotus.
Attack.
Attack. Next set of bands starting with PRX, you have Bind, Icebox, and Split.
Icebox.
Icebox. Your band, you have Bind and Split.
Bind.
Band Bind. Map number 3 is going to be Split. PRX, side on Split.
Attack.
Attack. All right, good luck to you both.
Good luck.
Let's go.
No confiaron, pero míralo. Llego con los míos y la grada explota. Le di la razón al que me quiso ver bien. Lo soñé en mi habitación y ahora en primera me ven. No te hablo del avión, vine por mi cinturón. No confiaron, pero míralo.
All in HyperX 2130.
Llego con los míos y la grada
2130.
No confiaron, pero míralo.
Level gini ya.
Llego con los míos y la grada explota.
Heretics playing in front of the hometown crowd. It's going to be a difficult task for PAKE, but this team is no slouch when it comes to fighting in
Let's
unfamiliar
go.
and some might say hostile territories. They had to do it against, an NA favorite crowd in EG when they played them, years ago. What was that? Last
year
year?
ago?
A year ago, excuse me. And now here they are again, having to potentially take down, the Heretics here in Spain.
You got to think about Masters Copenhagen as well. Same sort of situation up against FPX. You're in a U, you're playing an EU team.
That's
and,
right.
And they were able to do a pretty good job of it. I think this is somewhere that this team is so experienced. I don't really expect nerves to play a big role, but I don't know. It depends how loud that crowd gets.
That's right.
Yeah, it absolutely can apply pressure to a team. I think for them, PAKE is still trying to find their identity this year since losing Jing. I feel like, inarguably, the most impressive player on that squad from last year. I mean, you have something too. It is actually arguable, but he was incredible. That's a big pair of shoes to fill for a guy like Monyet.
Ya,
But on the other
sebelum
side, it's all
memulai
happiness
match-nya,
for Team Heretics. They lost that match.
sebelum
to Sentinels,
memulai
and they got
match-nya,
to beat themselves
alangkah
up over
baiknya
it a
kita
little bit.
berdoa.
But they played them so damn
Semoga
close. They were counter-strategic
PAKE
on
menang
those maps. They had
dan
excellent
lanjut
game
di
plans. Their players were
match
executing.
ketiga.
It was Rian's first LAN match, and he was done.
Please, dan masuk ke playoff, please.
Yes,
Come on. I mean,
One or two rounds different.
Exactly, and I think that is what makes it so scary for this PAKE team, Mitch, to go up against a Heretics that is just gamed and ready to go because they got that confidence in them.
That's the thing, right? And from what we've seen, that confidence is only built series on series over this year. So there's a lot sitting opposite that stage that they're going to have to deal with in terms of shutting down players like Miniboo and his brother backing him up. Like, that utility combo is scary. I didn't even add to it at the time. All of the other pieces of utility, we're probably going to save that for the post maps when we dive into it. But Rian's, he's been consistent on the Sova, but Patatek's flashes are out of this world. It's so good to see him back in a support role because he was born for that kind of play.
Let's talk about our maps. We're starting out on Sunset here. We've
Kok
seen
kayak
this
nge-lag
already from
gitu ya?
both teams in. For Team HyperX, they looked really good, honestly. Playing this Neon comp, stalling out with those stuns, and they're gonna obviously go back to that one. But I want to focus a little bit here on PaperX, because this is pretty much the only map this team will ever play no duelists. They're playing something on Gecko, and that's what I'm looking at. On defense, they had him opping a lot, they had him picking up the side anchor role, and it really felt like to me they weren't getting the maximum utilization out of his utility. There's so many rounds where PaperX was fighting forward, didn't have that Gecko flash because he was offing, because he was changing something up. But they did end up winning that map, and it was off of a really impressive attack side, which they're starting on now. I think this comp is preppable, especially with the trips and the stun that can really punish a no-dive comp.
And we've talked a little bit about Neil Zinho, but I think Weber deserves a lot of credit for what we should see coming into this server. That guy has had time to look at those VODs, and that is really where things get scary, like Mimi said. Guy's a big brain player.
Let's go.
And he's going to help them play today.
Yeah, well, we'll see, of course, how this works out as we have a Heritage squad that really wants to put on a show for their hometown crowd. Can PaperX silence them, though? Let's send it over to your casters. Give a warm welcome to Brent and Sideshow.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, let's get to it. A bit of a barn burner for our opening map here. Sunset, the best map, arguably, for both of these teams, Heretics and PaperX. And guess what? It's elimination time. This early on, you wouldn't think it if you look at these teams, but they're both 0 and 1. And honestly, expectations up in the air for this one, really. You might think that maybe Heretics might be favored, given the fact that they barely lost out to Sentinels. But we are fast off the rip into this pistol round. A very quick beginning, but slow and cautious by PaperX. Just well, no noise cues.
Yeah, they threw a knife over towards A at the beginning, so still 3 Heretics players committed to the A fight. Only the 2 of Benji and Rians holding over towards Market. So this is where we're going to see that Team Heretics retake. Their retakes have looked fantastic, but they haven't dealt with a Sage Wall yet, which is a really interesting kind of flavor to how you're going to play the post. Tends to funnel people all in predictable directions.
Manya second guessing himself there, where he decided to send out a paranoia. What is the call to be made? Stand up. Manya might be in a bit of trouble. Still, smoke up in his face. Wants to play the angle and timing around it with the util. Damage definitely done to a few of the players on the back, but the Heretics are still alive and kicking. Swarming now to side. Smoke down and out. Benji sticking through.
Run, nice run.
But he's the last one.
Nice.
And a couple of shots. It's all it takes to seal the deal. Pistol round here for PaperX. Excuse me.
Pretty nice, fast-paced, got somebody in aggressive. You know, a lot of disruption there, actually, to the way that Team Heretics were trying to play the retake. The Sage Wall as well does not make things easy there. No. You're on the pistol round, you cannot afford to really spend the entirety of your ammunition breaking it. And especially if Devi's going to be able to get kills like that. That's 2 just through that crack in the wall.
Yeah.
Not even caught on the camera, but that's devastating, actually, for Heretics. That's the way that it ended up going. But we are going to see so many of those kind of rounds, I think, where PaperX group up on one side of the map, utility. And I think Team Heretics might find it a little difficult to pick the mid-round timings that we've seen them get against other squads.
Doubled up with the trick style. Can't claim the kill, unfortunate for old Benji.
A very similar look to the round again.
That plan straight down out.
And this is even more unfair to Heretics, though, isn't it, with the weaponry on the other side of things.
Yeah, bits and pieces of util. I mean, if PaperX decide to take the fight straight to them, which they have, okay, throwing away your lives ever so slightly. I mean, 4 players still left standing. Any guns to reclaim?
Oh, well, not for Devi. He's still just got a pistol to try to spam the spike.
Yeah, and now they're going to be playing it from this main position still. The wall smoked to at least carve their way through. They found their placement here. This is looking really precarious right now. PaperX in a world of hurt. They have to manage themselves and find these kills. 1 player left. It's Mindfreak. And here it is. Patatek half on a defuse.
Nice.
And time. He's got
time,
might be just barely. It looks a bit rough. No, just about. Second to spare. Wonderful, wonderful eco round for Heretics.
Yeah, amazing. Once they got themselves up into the player advantage situation, that's where you saw the Heretics kind of system thrive. The stun from Miniboo and that swing from Rians could not have been better timed. Paranoia, Boo with the follow-up. This smoke that Boo lands as well, really lovely for making sure that the retakers only need to focus on one area at once. And the half that they got on the defuse, so crucial, so important.
Okay, okay.
Take a look at PaperX buying back into this one. They are not happy to just let this one go. They have got plants in both of these rounds and a fair amount of kills, so the money's not dreadful here.
Still that danger towards it. Flash forwards. Oh, well, that Thrash is going to be setting this one up, so clears through into market. A couple of players backside. Detainment.
There. I don't think you can follow up on this.
No, surely not. I mean, he's being bodyguarded basically by two of his teammates, and Forsaken, not sure if that was just trying to follow it up. Paditech takes him out anyway. Holding at the ground. Still left to contain. No gaps left into the play. Moniette will get the gun though.
And Moniette's position here is difficult to root out. The Sage Wall.
Two players not looking, twists and turns. They can't really find themselves an easy kill, but there it is. Okay, toppling. Two left standing, make it just one again. Mind Freak. Close to the pillar. Damage. Down to a few of them. Still how? The shot's just landing. So, Esmond getting punished here by PaperX.
And I got
down again.
I gotta say, I'm so impressed with Boo. The way that he runs these retakes and as the IGL, but also the way that he pats and he uses his utility. You saw his smoke being absolutely crucial in the previous retake. The Paranoia too. This time, as you can see, Rians and Paddy defending Benji. Miniboo comes around the back, and then Boo goes for the reflanking market too. That's his Paranoia you see there. Onto Moniette. Just making sure that all the gaps are solved, and they don't just have to run into Moniette over and over again. Finally, this is going to break the economy of PaperX. Struggle as they might to try to keep guns on board.
Okay.
Heretics are going to be able to stabilize perhaps just a little here, unless the sheriffs can sing. And for the first time, we see PaperX going for more of a defaulty approach. Throwing that knife over towards A. Forsaken did that on the pistol as well, and it ended up in a B group up. Fairly similar to what PaperX are going for again here.
Yeah, contacting, removing the first layer of the trip, out in the open with the util, no punishment. Onto Forsaken. Now the group up towards B, but it seems like Heretics have got good awareness of it. Benji Fishy's holding it down just with the rifle. The spam damage, no punishment in sight though with a counterplay.
Another one of these rounds.
They want to play aggressive. Look at this. Straight into market. Paranoia. Push forward. It's blinded. Flashed up. Round to the side. There's no real guns and no real danger towards that. Cheeky idea, nevertheless.
I mean, I think that was a team flash, though, wasn't it? That was Forsaken's flash that came through and ended up blinding some of the PaperX players that were trying to push.
It's feeling a little bit improv-y towards the back of the site. Traded. Dart. Gliding his way straight to Divine and points directly to the target they were looking for.
And look at the confidence on the Heretics players. They're not scared to try to take these fights, especially
dia dapat plan tapi nggak bisa ini
I think that's
anjir.
such an important part of what's making Team
plan-nya.
Heretics flourish on the big stage. Remember that they played and qualified without dropping a map, but it was all with ping. They had to play online because Rians couldn't get there to play at kickoff.
Lo batok sono lo muntah
So
darah.
this was their first time, for starters, playing on a stage this big, playing in front of a crowd like this, but also playing on the LAN servers and getting used to that. Does it seem to have made the slightest bit of difference? Nope.
Not at all.
No.
Wouldn't expect it.
There's a lot of talk about, you know, rookies and how they perform when it comes to the big stage like this. But to be honest, there is no clear-cut correlation. New players don't always crumble on the big stage. New players don't always dominate. But Heretics seems to have those kind of people that love to step up to the occasion. Oh, yeah. And this is yet another example of what I think is kind of the theme of Master Madrid, which is the old guard taking on the new upcoming talent. And PaperX here representing that old guard. The old gods can fall. Team Heretics took down Na'Vi to be able to get to this point. They qualified over Fnatic, who are not here. They know that these gods can bleed.
Absolutely. Seen it firsthand. For PaperX, it's been quite some time since they've really just kind of spiraled out of control at a tournament. I mean, Champs 2022 comes to mind. And PaperX are no strangers to it. It's not like they've had dominance throughout their entire existence as an org, but based on the tail end of 2023, there are some relatively high expectations, I think, leveled against them.
Absolutely.
But for the players, maybe not so much. You know, they've spoken.
They said they were playing at a
Mine,
6 out of 10 compared
yeah, 6
to
out of
last
10
year.
is what they were rating themselves. And
Yeah.
just kind of going into Madrid, I think, expecting to just have a bit of fun, which is the PaperX way of things, bit of style.
Well, it seems like they're scrimming the BXX at the moment, Brett.
Yeah.
That knife caught all 5 players.
So they know exactly it's a refight called. Panatech forwards. That flash is magnificent. The PaperX are the ones coming out on top.
And the res, too.
Skirmish, the res, yeah. Already a fast flank. As soon as the knife tags onto 5, Boo, he's fast behind him. Will he get the punish? Wide round, it's traded.
Nice.
1 for 1.
Yeah.
But that's not good enough. That just opens up the A side of the map. Can Rienz read it? Can he cut somebody off? Because otherwise, this looks like a round all wrapped up already for PaperX. And this really begins because they expect PaperX to stop when they get 5-person knife. If you remove all of the abilities from your opponents, you expect them not to keep hitting the W button.
Balik run,
And
balik
yet
run.
PaperX, nah,
They don't care.
nah.
They
So-
do not care.
And that's why that flash
Aduh,
timing doesn't quite
timing.
work. Paddy's assuming that they'll have put a pause into their play here.
Santai, santai,
Look at
Fai.
Rienz and Benji, though, and see if
Santai,
they can
Fai.
recover this.
Lot to do for them. Now, Mind Freak on the flank is actually a wide ways off. He's going to have to work his way up through mid here. There's
Nice.
one opener still. Something shuts that down to Benji.
Aduh,
Last one left.
nice.
It's the
Nice,
trade.
nice, nice,
So,
nice.
PaperX to the second one.
And that round, maybe a bit of a preview of things to come if PaperX can find a little more success. Because I think one of the biggest ways that PaperX are going to find win conditions in this is going to be by disrupting the timings that Heretics want to take.
It's all about the tempo.
Heretics have played
yes.
against a lot of teams
Jadi
that play
hidupin
quite
mati lagi,
standard
anjir.
Valorant, where you can find good timings to re-clear, you expect them to slow down. The set plays that Heretics go for need a little bit of time and space to set up, and PaperX, are they going to give them that?
Unlikely most of the time. Well, Boo. TP close to tiles, he's holding a flash, but guess what? Mind Freak's already
Off
in
cam
front of
contact.
him. No, it's a smoke as well.
Nice,
He's holding an extra
nice,
movement.
nice.
Mind Freak, disgusting work,
Wait,
but
wait,
Boo
wait,
still
wait, wait.
active,
Santai
still
dong,
kicking.
santai dong.
Into the fight, back out of there. Using
Nice,
all, not
nice fight,
quite.
nice fight.
Catch him on the heel.
Nice.
Another situation again, Brent, where the cam contact that you can see them pinging out right now doesn't anticipate somebody going for a wide swing. If that's just a shallow little jiggle to spot anybody in mid, the cam takes contact, paranoia can be used, and Team Heretics can crunch the mid players. But instead, they just swung out fully and took the fight.
Purely W gaming.
So these setups that Heretics are using, not really optimized for the pace and the aggression that PaperX are going to throw in.
We'll see how they adapt over the course of this series.
Spike planted.
So 2v3. Getting that info that everybody's playing towards main there with an Neural Theft. Wall broken. One less thing to really worry about here. Still one hell of a task. Need to rebound. Survive's going to be forced out wide. Shots need to be landed here by Benji. Flash to set it up. Everybody evacuating.
Aduh.
Magnificent! Once more. And everybody topples. Beautiful supporting utility by Panatech.
Incredible stuff from Heretics there. That's the thing, if you give them the space, if you give them the time, these setups look immaculate. I think you were talking about it when Sentinels played against Team Heretics, that it looked like the two best teams in the tournament playing, back when you were on the desk for that game. And I think when Heretics are allowed the space to set these things up, God, the nade into the back, the flash to clear, catches onto everybody.
Lama
They read
banget
that the
itu flashnya,
teleport's
anjir.
happening. They've already set up the cage. It just looks so good. And that's why I'm saying the win condition for PaperX is to find timings to disrupt those setups, to try to catch Paddy with the flash in his hand.
Weaponry is a little bit uneven. The PaperX, again, grouped up as 5. Really not too much in terms of changing the game plans with an old man sent flying. Rips its way through, so not have to worry about that setup, but this is a fight towards the back of the side, actually. Something has been changed now. Smoke's dropped into the corner. Will they check it?
Aduh,
No corners
Jet,
are half
aduh.
clear. It's Benji. He's
Aduh.
blinded. He does not care. 3 falling. Hunter's Fury clearing up the remnants. The pit's down, but really, it's just a matter of time. And Mind Freak, you can feel it. Despair settling. Dread in the bones, tagged up by the drone, no chance.
Benji looks amazing, man. It just looks amazing. He was talking all this tournament about how he wanted to grind his way up through Valorant, didn't want to use his clout to hop onto a top team early. And he really did put in the work in Tier 2.
Oh, yeah.
Even when he joined this squad, people were not immediately saying, oh, Heretics are going to be superb instantly. I did not expect them to be here in Madrid, but now that they are, what is this?
Yeah, just disgusting work.
Anticipating the timing of those players so perfectly to even catch something afterwards. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. The new era that players like that are ushering in.
It's okay, bro. It's okay. Masih banyak yo. So,
24 looking exciting for
comeback.
Valorant.
Mangat net, mangat.
Danger in this round with Mind Freak. He's managed to work his way in, just walking past us. Does Boo
Aduh, Mind
expect it?
Freak.
Believe he must
Nice.
have pulled it. No, his head's gone. Oh
Mind Freak.
my. Mini Budo returns
Aduh.
it with the stun back round the side, using the wall. Could feign like he's dipped out of the side, but still continues to play into this in a one-and-done angle. But there it is. Thrash in connection, detained. Yeah, Mini Boo's there, so he needs to be protected. Panic flashed up though. He has to back away into the smoke, and there's the kill. Secured.
Nice.
Sheriff is online. Monyet. Disgusting
Nice.
work, and everybody just being traded out.
Benji got a 3K in the previous round, but it wasn't as difficult as all of this. He has no great information about where PaperX are playing and has to break this wall, giving away exactly what angles he's going to be fighting on.
Ayo lu, bacot mulu lu, sini lu.
PaperX not leaving this one to chance.
Ah, Benji Visis.
They don't know where he might
Benji
be coming
Pines.
from. Oh, peeking for the info. I was a believer.
Jangan
That's
satu-satu.
unreal.
I was a believer for a second, yet it's barely scraped through for PaperX.
The metal box ends up being the MVP there for PaperX,
Duh.
as it took half of the bullet, headed straight for Divide. Nevertheless, an example of why PaperX's A exec can be so dangerous there. Heretics got kind of roped in, pulled in to trying to fight as one player at a time got put into bad situations. And Miniboo gets caught and they try to bail him out, and then Riens is tempted to swing through the smoke to try to bail the next layer out. And here we see the economy finally in a good enough spot. Something to pick up the attack side off.
Isn't that interesting? I mean, they do it a lot.
Yeah,
Doesn't
they
matter
do.
what role something's playing, they really do favor this, just trying to slow the rounds down and find those picks.
I think the slower you make these rounds, the more you open yourself up to Miniboo re-clearing areas with a flash.
He's repositioning here. Danger.
Nice.
The crosshair placement wasn't on
Nice
line,
fight.
and the reswing of Boo, it's punished almost immediately. Panic
Nggak
is
kena
forward in
flash
front of the
anjir.
util, in front of the slow. It's
But there was
the timing.
there was a ping, there was a beep from the Dizzy,
I
so
didn't
they
know.
know that there's someone around.
Yep, using a paranoid.
Nice.
Yeah, that's just pure timing based on that. As soon as the flash comes through, pixel angle for Riens, not enough to clear the head off one of the bodies. Plant will go down without any problems.
Spike planted.
Benji Venice-nya mana nih? Sosokan lu, berdiri-berdiri lu. Lu bukan Blazking anjir.
To save this now, surely Riens.
Aduh.
To exit, he makes a good go of it. Gotta respect it.
Yeah, the players are still looking sharp on Heretics. It's a good job that PaperX were able to swing so readily there to try to trade out. But it's the 2 picks they get at the start that really open things up. And that was a little unusual from Heretics. They did not read that the op was online here, I don't think. They went for a dry re-clear. No utility used. Usually Heretics are the king of cooking up these on-the-fly set plays. And they're going to take a timeout here. The coaching staff.
Ah,
not
diem
quite happy
lu,
with what they
diem
saw in the
lu.
round, and I bet it's something to do with the way that
Diem
Boo
lu.
and, Boo, the
Mana,
brothers just kind of
diem.
walked into those angles at the start of the round.
Normally, I mean, listen, talking about something with this operator, I'm not a huge fan of it when I've been watching him play with it just prior. They really got punished hard, I think, in the EDG match where they just weren't showing presence. They weren't given the opportunity for pickoffs.
And Heretics themselves could play more passively, trying to play for retakes. I'm not sure that that would be the best strategy, though. PaperX have been known to mix in some of those contacting plays, especially in the rounds where they have the op online. And that you can get into some really uncomfortable spots when that's happening. Forsaken ready to go with another null command. So that could end up being quite important here. We've seen PaperX leaning B very heavily at the start of this half. And Now swapping over to mostly doing A executes.
The option now of going pretty rapidly into B once more. That's what they did last time they had the ult. Despite all that prior conditioning, but I imagine speed probably not the name of the game. Something opping. Said, set the sights towards mid. Flash play to set up early on so Minibu can get onto that line of side angle. Sets himself up nicely. They do show presence.
Yeah, and if something wanted to get set up with the operator over towards A, then that would make it a little more difficult for him. But instead, Device escorting something up mid. And these players that were falling away from A could have fallen prone to it. Instead, here comes the B split.
Hello.
Benji's used still offline.
Two different directions. So, all being used to clear out through market on top of the wall.
Aduh, Pai, lu udah ketahuan Pai.
Nasty business.
Naik ke atas mulu, Pai.
Nasty shot. Mosh through the
Aduh.
back. Just the slightest of gaps. Something's head's gone clean off, rolling off the shoulders here through the back of the side.
Aduh,
Paranoid, but no, doesn't
son.
expect the deeper angle. Minibu just playing so passively there, patiently, making sure he guards all the available openings. Munyet forwards now, he knows he has to take risks. There's a slight gap, he's seen the cross. But there's a lot more to do here, needs
Duh,
bloody
posisi
mirror.
monyet. Ah,
Holding.
nice.
There's one. Can he get any more? 6 bullets left. Smoke fading. Paranoid just in
Aduh.
time. They're tracing and chasing down the fight. Mindfreak, he's there. Battle
Nice.
taken up close.
Nah.
Personal.
Chill,
Shots
chill.
down, but still 11 HP. Munyet, he can't do it. They know he's low.
Ah,
And all it takes is a few
bengong si
stray bullets.
kampret.
A lot of danger in that round too, despite the fact that a couple were picked off over towards market. Great recovery though from Heretics. You could see the anticipation with the way the Divide pushed into market there. They were so ready for that swing on top of the Sage wall. Here it is from Rians again. As soon as the wall goes up, Crosshair gets adjusted. And this, the Mosh is thrown to try to set up the Mosh, Paranoia, and try to put pressure and fight really aggressive for Boba and stop Team Heretics going for that retake style. And instead, it just exposes something's head for a fraction of a moment. And that's enough for Heretics to get an even larger player advantage. That operator now in hands of the defending Sova.
Oh, okay.
So if you haven't got enough of your initiator op from something's attack side, have a look at this one from Rians.
Still the contact play style. I mean, this creates openings. Rians is only just getting onto the line though. Nade into the corner. That's to remove some of those unbreakable trips.
Only gets rid of one.
All up once more. Rians doesn't get the pick. Flies off the shot though. Man, fully revealed, spamming through, stopping off the plan, and the damage done with the Hunter's Fury. Has to be an escape from Meunier. He will TP just to the side to narrowly avoid it. But this has thrown a lot of chaos into the mix. Lovely shock
Aduh,
dart.
monyet mati.
And it all really relies on Mindfreak. He's in mid right now.
Aduh, susah
He's
banget
going to be
tuh.
watching him though. Mosh pit into the corner. Does Benji survive? He's pushed out
Nice,
wide.
nice, nice.
Mindfreak and something. They both get it with the
go.
res online.
Let's go.
Suddenly, there's player advantage. It's flipped onto the other side of things.
Cok.
Heretics. We don't know which
Ah,
one towards right now because
itu
Mindfreak is
dia.
deep within the spawn. They have to try and contain this one.
Itu
plug the
dia.
gaps before they set up these big retake executes.
Ayo, call,
Still
A kosong,
37
A kosong,
Got
A
the spike
kosong.
back, and they're running all the way over towards A. I mean, it is just pure mayhem.
Call,
in
A kosong.
Madrid.
That one
Nice.
is bizarre. We're watching the fight as it happens in mid, and two players in
Ah,
backside
ni Minibo,
went for a
Minibo.
swing on defense and both
Mini
fell at the
Bobo,
exact same time
Bobo.
the res went up. Now, from our perspective, I can't tell whether the res baited
Please,
the swing
jangan
out,
keculik
and that
satu-satu.
was a really nice
Lu pada nggak ada
coordinated
duit
play,
anjing.
or whether Team Heretics just ended up trying to face that,
Yeah,
and
I
it
mean,
offered an opportunity for Divide to get the res.
maybe just facing with Benji getting pushed out by the mosh pit.
Yeah,
Having to protect him, you know, maybe just
super possible.
stand the ground, see if they can survive by just taking
Oh,
the fight more
saving,
plays.
yeah.
But it's left just Minibu reeling in this one, has to save.
Yeah.
Forced back with the rifle. I mean, a really odd round, just those strange diamonds being thrown into it.
And actually, Device Resurrect getting really large value
Saving,
the two
yeah.
times that it's been used.
Yeah.
It's not often you say that about a Sage ult, actually.
Ah, gua
So,
kebelet kencing tapi
Heretics,
lagi
the bonus
seru
for them
anjing.
is that they'll be given this round as like a little mini timeout. They can talk about what went wrong there,
Biar
what they're looking to readjust for the
crowdnya
final
diem
round.
aja dah.
But PaperX have now cranked up
Bacot
the
mulu
fight.
dari
A
tadi
reminder,
anjing.
this was the better half.
Baru beberapa round
last
bacot
time we saw
aja.
it play. But I think this comp should
Tuan rumah,
have
tuan
theoretical
rumah.
value. So yeah, they went for the res before the peaks happened. They were, as you said, Brent, just trying to get that punish onto the mosh pit.
Nice, no itu. And freaking
Meanwhile, Mindfreak got the kill in mid.
So it's just a battle of
Ah,
multiple Here we are. Final
inilah
round now of this
kebangkitan
first
anjing.
half. Big ult online. Thrash for something. Will be opted to use this. In fact, Heretics want to take the pace straight to them. It's out the paranoia. All offloaded.
And 3 players found.
Mind control. Yeah, with that knife deep into the angle.
So PaperX are calling the fast
Ada ulti,
reaction into
ada
A,
ulti,
which is
something.
where Benji's playing. With a kill trip and a vandal.
Yeah, kill trip and a vandal, but the Thrash surely clears the way here, spotting multitude of targets forwards into the smoke. Trips, he's waiting for it, the right time to strike, but Nade pushes him away. Plan is online, out in the open. Strange with a post-plant scenario, but plenty of using angles.
Here it
Here's
is.
the same war being played.
Nice!
Are you aware of this?
Ini dia.
Gets value with the flash setup. All online, but yeah, it's not clear
Nice.
the just yet. Still wants to play
Nice
it
yet.
Still wants to
Nice.
combine it all with the aggression to
Nice.
through the back of the site. PaperX even it flawless for the final round here of our first half.
Love that setup too. They've got Ducky even pushing a link at the same time, so they set up the highest of high-low setups. One player in the skybox while the other swing.
Idih. Diem
Awesome
aja
setup
itu.
to draw things level at the half. As PaperX won 4 out of 5 of the last
Sama
round.
nih lah.
Absolutely treated here.
Yo, yo,
Best
yo.
map of both of these teams, arguably. See them evenly matched. I mean, who knows
Ini
what we're
dia,
going to store for the
monyet.
second half. Oh, they are loving it. They are loving it. Just here to have fun at the end of the day. Well, absolutely ridiculous so far. Still, on the floor, let's send it down to Mika. She's standing by with a special guest for an interview.
What's up, everyone?
Ah,
Here with a
Maxwell,
very, very
si tua.
special guest. We
Maxwell.
have Maxwell here, and we can hear the crowd roaring. This is electric. And how are you enjoying the match?
The match so far is insane. I think that PaperX is playing really well. It's the best maps of both teams. So I think the best of 3 is kind of decided in this game. And both teams are playing at their best, so I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, well, the Pacific Heretics is playing very, very well as well. You guys are making us sweat over in Asia. And speaking of which,
si
EMEA and Pacific, we have
tua.
very, very different styles, right? Which team would you rather play against? Something more structured or something
Umur
more
berapa sih,
chaotic like
Maxwell?
PaperX?
I think playing against PaperX for the first time is maybe more
Maxwell.
scary. But after you see them
Itu
playing
umur berapa,
once, I
Maxwell,
think
mana Maxwell?
Team Heretics has a more complete style. So I
28
think
anjir.
I would rather play against PaperX than Heretics. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the crowd agrees with you. And of course, Nilzinho is somebody that you have a very close relationship with. You know him for a while. What do you think he's thinking right now at this very moment?
I think he's calming the players because it's important to start strong on the second half. He's someone that reminds you what he has prepared for you before the match. And he's probably just saying, guys, keep playing like you're playing really well. Remember what we talked about before and just enjoy the moment because the crowd is cheering for you, something like that.
Speaking of the crowds, really quick, say something to our fans.
Chicos, tenemos que ganar este partido sea como sea y vosotros sois el 6º jugador, así que gritad como nunca, por favor. ¡Vamos!
All right, let's get back into the game.
Maxwell's got a future, I think, in crowd work as well. I mean, this guy, he knows.
Get him paired up with Zekon's mum.
Telling you, yeah. I mean, they know the right things to say. Me, I am an idiot. Only know the one language. So,
well, as they say in Spain, vamos.
Yeah, perfectly executed.
Yep, gracious.
Never inviting us back to Spain. First round, pissed around for the second half. Let's see how it goes. It's fast off the rip with a flash play. Mini boo. But forwards up front, taking it to the fight straight to them. Many targets to face him, but guess what? His team's got his back. There were the follow-up. Finally, something now with a reposition. Doesn't really want his back open to that spot. Wingman being broken down.
Look how reluctant PaperX are to actually rotate fully over to A, and they've been rewarded for it. They find the lurk there. Team Heretics had a 3v1 on the A site for like the last 20 seconds.
Go.
And they paused, allowing opportunities for PaperX to come back into this.
Oh, the space. Look at this. Down in 2.
Ih, tiba-tiba mati 2 orang anjir.
3 players holding hands. They don't want to leave any mistakes open here.
Aduh, timing.
Missed the timing.
The timing.
Does Mindfreak look left?
Does he look left? Yes, he does. And he spots a whole load of juicy targets once more. There's one falling. Boo. Down and out, but now they know it's B. Jig is up.
And these players, they are going to get crunched here. I mean, Mindfreak's going to be coming behind at the same time as pressure is applied through market. This is going to be so tough for Heretics.
Wins. To the dart. But seriously, man, this is just wide out into
Aduh,
the
miss
open.
man.
Ghost moment certified there. Pissed around Another one for PAKE.
They're going to be kicking themselves for that decision making after managing to find 2 picks at the beginning and setting themselves up with such an advantage, deciding to put that pause into the round. As soon as Benji gets picked off, you lose all info and control over the rest of the map. And PAKE, it is so unusual to see a team still playing 1-1-1 after Elbow's been destroyed. But yeah, ended up working perfectly for PAKE. Anticipation perhaps of that pause coming through. They were not scared.
It's all smiles, man. They really are just here to have a good time. Leveled their own expectations. Here's a deep knife. Forwards with the dizzy. I mean,
bacot banget sih Heretic.
Where do you think the Heretics players are? Got more than a good guess. Just holding, expecting maybe just that re-clearance, re-push.
When we saw PAKE playing up against EDG, when PAKE were on the defense side, outside of the pistol and the follow-up, they only won 2 of the rifles. So, even though these are absolutely plastered, it remains to be seen how they're going to get it done once rifles are on board.
Do we mix it up? Double down?
They did struggle. Even though they're 8-6 in the lead right now, you need to see it working in rounds where Team Heretics can fight back. There is only one player on the other side of things, still with light armor. That's Rians. As we head into the next round.
Ini
So
dia.
Forsaken's Outlaw is going to struggle to get a little bit of value.
Alex senyum-senyum.
Heretics,
Gak stres kayak kemarin.
Take a B main control as what's called and ordered. The Bulldog, well, just all bark, no bite there. Loses out the duel. Mini Boo, this guy.
Outrageous.
He's just ripping him to shreds.
That's so strong. I mean, aim punched as well by the Bulldog in the first fight.
Okay, well, weakened enough though that Forsaken does get value with the Outlaw. Tagged up by it, mosh pit forwards. Still have another plant down, by the way. Being pushed back.
Biji gua makan bodoh amat.
Time, but finally it goes through the window with the dizzy up over the top and no connections. Now the paranoia and a flash underhanded to clear it.
Nice.
Positions. No way are they going to start winning this one out. Surely not. Heretics doubled up. Close to the wall. Rians side by side. Him and Benji Fishy in a position of being squeezed.
Aduh,
How are they managing that?
They just win both the duels in that situation. PAKE have their pick of the timings. Monya and Something have done such an incredible job up until that point. Something managed to turn a double face into a 1v1, got the kill. Monya kills somebody. B main, but they can't close it out, even though they're coming from opposite sides, can pick their timings. Look at that kill through the aim punch. Utilizing the flash to force his opponent into the corner, and then the recon to be able to get the illumination on his opponent. Good response, right when they needed it. Something has picked up the operator.
Onion's gone walkabout. Okay. Another kill onto Boo. Might throw things into a bit of disarray. There's a deep smoke. This was placed down early. I mean, Heretics, they've cooked this one up. They were pinging it out just into the pre-round, but they've all got to contain. Pulling through with it. The Mindfreak's there. They've just got to watch for. Top mid. Spike drop down.
Nice.
In a blink of an eye.
No.
Finished.
Team Heretics are going to go for that mid play quite a lot, where they smoke the right side of mid and apply some pressure. Sometimes it's going to be fake, sometimes it's real. And PAKE there threatened like they were just going to walk through the smoke. And that actually pulled the crosshair away quickly enough for Miniboo. The PAKE were able to find really easy timings, even if they hadn't taken down Boo at the beginning, like an absolute freebie. I think PAKE had a great protocol for what to do against that. And you can see the market pressure got dealt with instantly too. Just a wall in the face of the drone. And that is such a difference to the way that, for example, Sentinels would play this KO Gecko comp. Here's that same smoke again. Like I said, Heretics love this kind of setup. Smoke, instead of blooming in mid, just cuts off one side of it. Stops any crossfire setup. But it's not always going to be real pressure.
Deep pop angle as well. Something getting all sorts of mid-round information. And yeah, it's the really one in danger. Yeah, here it is. I mean, the jiggle peak for information gets the head clean off.
Gotta be honest with you, I didn't even see Miniboo.
Forsaken now going to be tucking, cowering. Needs a bit of backup, and he's got it. In the form of Devi. Top round the guns. Set Mini Boo up for success. Flash repeat, and it is good. Damage there. And a kill. Still it's traded. Hunter's Fury negated.
Perfect.
Yeah, beautiful work there with the ult. Good timing from Forsaken as well, because he was tagged up. He was the one who was really in danger of going down. Here, tagged up by the cam, backing away, and it's a lot of chaos strewn into the mix. One player.
Can Boo dodge it? Yeah. Does that make a difference? Does he perhaps call them back over towards A? It looks quite committed.
Nice.
Just spotted him. Benji Fishy out wide. Does he expect
Okay,
another play?
nice.
Yes, he does. Mind Freak.
No.
Unrelenting from the spot. Will not give anything away. Boo. Earns the ult, but no time left, surely. 15 seconds left. Is he really going to make a go of this one? He's getting the move on. Listen, I know he's got the new knife set, but it doesn't actually make you move any faster. 9 seconds. He wants to go for it. 7 seconds.
Nice.
Shut down.
Predicted, dealt with. Little disappointing the way that Heretics were posted up in B main there, just one at a time, swinging forwards. Instead of trying to get somebody posted with Benji. There are multiple angles there that need to be covered. This play though, great idea from Forsaken. Really nice punish of that ultimate being used, but it's this moment I'm wondering about. Paddy is just kind of looking at the wall while Rians sets up a dart. I feel like he could have been double holding that. Nevertheless, PaperX are squeezing away, and I was setting expectations for this defense half based on what we saw when PaperX played against EDG, right? And we saw that the defense half, actually, they weren't able to get those rounds on the board very easily. But here, it's looking great at dealing with what
Banyak ngomong. Lu mendingan diem aja.
And
Suara
awareness
lu
of the kind of
habis
things that
nanti
Heretics
kalau
want to do.
kalah
That mid play
Hereticnya.
in particular.
Udah mendingan diem aja, simpen suara lu.
Almost everything that's gone thrown their way.
And this is now the final timeout for the Heretics coaches to try to have some of their own input. And we're pretty far away from the finish line. It'd have to be another 6 rounds that Heretics get on the board. Twice as fast as PaperX. To be able to get the win here. And you heard it from Mixwell's mouth earlier on. He said the winner on Sunset is probably going to win the BO3. Now, I think Heretics still has win possibilities on Lotus and Split, but if Heretics end up getting stomped here, puts a very different flavor on the series for sure.
Really does. A team like PaperX stepping up at the right moments.
I'm out of here.
Here it is, fast. Through with the paranoia. Through into Albo now with the dart.
Careful here.
A couple of waves of that util, making sure all of it is clear, but it's given up entirely for the retake. PaperX, look at them, happy for it.
And this comp is really good at retaking too. You have a lot of utility to throw out. Between the Gecko, the KO, and the Paranoias, it can be overwhelming.
One-way smoke blocks off one yet, so he can't actually fight into that angle. Still, a chance for Divide. He's not smoked off at all. Mini Boo, no way, drops down.
Nice.
Damage.
Yep.
Done, but still hits the head. Here, traded forwards, detained into the corner.
Nice.
Powering Forsaken. Can't adjust the aim in time. It's good movement from Brians,
Nice.
but he will fall regardless. Man sent flying, cage in his face, something not to be deterred. The molly to set that one up, out through. Oh.
I think Boo just spotted the tip of the operator there.
Now it's been called, a bit of a pause, pump the brakes. Wait, it's out. Smoke online, Mind Freak.
I know exactly.
I'm guessing it's the right timing. Wants to take with the neural theft. Forwards there. No danger of the mosh pit. Second burst and a neural theft as well, so the position is revealed. The shot fired off, something.
He's so fast.
He's hoping to take a
Repositioning
rapid
elbow.
reposition, isn't he? Yeah.
He will have to slow down a little just to check these positions. And the longer he takes, the more Heretics should
Wah,
start to
ini
think
nggak
about different
expect sih
angles. Here,
something.
Boo gets smoked.
Dikiranya
Over
nge-save
towards A
ini.
link, allows Benji to hold.
He's holding the angle. Now it all comes down to this one.
Aduh.
One fight shot going wide. Reposition.
Wah, respect
back
banget.
together.
Respect
Double
banget,
tap. There should
anjir.
be no danger in this round. Should be no danger at all.
Aduh,
Should be
nggak
no
dapet.
danger at all, he says still.
And look at something. He knows it's over. Scratching his head, forced to try to save and reposition. Perhaps even a little frustration. I don't know how, but he seems to expect himself to hit shots like that. But it's going to be Heretics getting it up to 8. As something escapes with the operator online. There were plenty of moments where that could have gone wrong. Another situation, actually, where Miniboo is still able to get the entry going. Despite the fact that he's been shot at by an opponent. He's like already so weak by the time he manages to land that kill on Divide. Is that a little nod of respect for how good the entry was, or is he looking at somebody else's kills?
Davey udah buka puasa dong pastinya.
Something looking to set
Ya
up an
dong.
early peak here, perhaps? Often there's going to be a cam with a paranoia to go off-cam info, but Benji's over towards B this time. Something backs off. Didn't like the look of things early on. And Benji's got his cam actually inside Mindfreak's pit. Could end up being useful at some point.
Oh, well. Knife going to be at least taking down all the kit here. Mosh pit held. Ready for some sort of play to punish. Where does it land? Not a clue.
It's for an elbow retake. They're going to throw that in paranoia, I think, if Monyet can get this and get out.
Walks forwards. I don't expect them to be up there. I mean, massive gap in the playbook, at least in terms of the timings that he was taking inside his head.
Yeah, the fact that there isn't a piece of utility for anybody that could be holding close there, I was really expecting the paranoia to be coming through, but he just ran it down.
Large holes, and that knife gives good information. Minimum 2 players tagged up by it. Something's got the op. If they walk onto this line, they could be in danger. Now Heretics do have util. Yeah, underhanded flash forwards. Also flying. Still the shot will connect. Drops Padatek down to his knees. Rebaking Forsaken. You are absolutely nuts for that. He needs some help and he needs it fast. Another shot missed and going wide forwards with the rifles. Claiming the territory, claiming the ground. Slow orb. Rebounding. The options are so damn limited. Where the hell is this one going? He's out wide into the open. Rians. Peeking into it. Footsteps heard. And another shot missed.
Nice.
Res online here. Wall in their faces. Res now here. Towards the back of it with something going. Down a spray. Just can't be managed. Can't be wrangled. Forward in time. Mindfreak. 2v2. Turns it into it here. Still with the op. Sends him out. Wingman flying. Mindfreak falling. That was the only rifle player. But now the upgrade. At least the side grade picked up. Something's here. Still, it's a lot to handle, a lot to manage. Doesn't know the positions. Miniboo's playing tucked to really the safety at the back of the side. So yeah, just got to give it up once more. Another round win here for Heretics.
Nice.
They'll give their lives for it towards the end of the round. Both of them played that situation beautifully. It's their duels that end up making the difference. You'll see that Boo was the only player ready to stop them. Here, this duel. Had Devi got that, it's curtains. And Miniboo on the other side held down a really important push from Mindfreak. 2 straight up 1v1s, where Boo and Miniboo are holding angles, they get the duel win, and it pushes them across the line with the player advantage. None of the fancy set play stuff. Just guns out gaming. You know, maybe one day, bro, we'll see Xcura on this team as well, and we can have the Susano brothers playing up against the Boo brothers, you know? Maybe. And screaming the Vera come back.
Gue yakin itu fans-fans karbitan anjir.
The Santo family, they run deep when it comes to playing video.
Gue tahu pasti pada ntar kalau fanatik.
There is an older Boo brother as well.
Just get them all involved, man. Let's have a family reunion on the big stage.
Yeah, get Golden Boy to cast it like his WWE.
He would love that.
Oh my God.
Absolutely, he's looking at me, he's nodded. He would love that.
Is that the Susano brothers music? I mean, it would go crazy. But what a game we've got here. Both of these teams wrestling with each other, trying to figure out the ways to be able to get past different setups. That round, it felt like it should have been a bit of a gimme for Heretics because they were offered that pick at the very beginning, over through elbow, with Monyet just kind of running it down. That's part of a set play, right? But it does make Monyet look a bit silly in the moment. And now the economy, not in a great spot for PaperX. Team Heretics favored to tie this one back up. Absolutely anybody's game on Sunset.
Deep flash. Just walking to set it up with the dart against the back of things. So nobody holding close towards B. Delayed knife. Good info. Surely gathered.
Yeah, and that I think is going to cancel the hit.
Everybody's pushed though from PaperX. Look at this.
I think Heretics think this is a B stack. I am not sure they're going to anticipate 3 players being pushed out A here. You know, when it's quiet on B, but you end up getting knifed, and there's a smoke in your face, you think, okay, they're going to start rotating here to stack the site, and it's only really Boo and Benji watching behind. They do have a trip. Things here should be somewhat safe, but they're stuck in B main right now. And the timing.
Push off the angle, finally noise being made. Nade going, flying forward.
Nice, something.
He wins his fight with the duels. Heretics with the rifles. It's traded out. Falls, and another pause put into the play here with 45 seconds left. What do they choose to do? Forsaken, ADS. It's going to be a bit of a demon with it here. Flash forwards as well, no connection from it. They are really stuck in place, finding it difficult to get through any of this. Stuns now. Flying and rip forwards with the wall on top of it. The entire team decides it. We're going to take backside, we're going to take it now. Together, brute force is the goal. That plant down now into the post, and even just stepping forwards into Boba. Divide didn't have a rifle in his hands, but at least Forsaken does still. Looking for the wraparound. Players, plenty of them, ready for the targets here. Heads could pop, heads could come clean off.
Nice,
Still
nice.
Watching the damage. Low enough. One shot in the chamber, Meunier.
No!
Holy! What is that? That's an unbelievable round. PAKE had them scrambling. Team Heretics just heads on a swivel the entire time. A lack of decisiveness there, I think. A decision had to be made. Do we go and push into the players flanking us? Do we commit to site? All right, in the end, with 35 seconds left, they decided to go towards the site. But even then, once they got to Boba, they didn't commit forwards. They went back towards the site and allowed themselves to get tangled up again. I mean, you could just see how uncomfortable that was from the Heretics' point of view.
Davis.
And frustration in the camp. That was their opportunity to tie things up at 10-10. They had the economy punished for PAKE, and now it's them coming into the round with Sheriffs. Disaster.
They're going to need something similar, aren't they?
And what a piece of PAKE magic. Just when they needed it. Now, as much as the triple push out of A, despite all of the B presence, did work for them in the previous round, this time there's only Mindfreak home, and if Team Heretics step on the gas here, PAKE are going to have to play retake.
Fully giving it up here, top mid, flash.
Aduh, nggak ada yang kena, aduh.
Oh my goodness.
How is that happen?
Sheriff kill still cleared out.
Nice.
You can't escape with the ult. Looking for it, 3 versus 3 though. There's still that danger there. Backside again, cool made, walking up for now. Mini boot and Paditech, anything to set this up? No, Yuto, they just want to take
nice.
it. Raw aim, raw gunfights. Rian's last one.
Aduh, nice.
Presses the advantage, or at least he thought there was one there. Forsaken shuts that down. So up to 12 now for PAKE.
Forsaken did everything he possibly could in that round just to get them.
Kok diem aja nih crowd-nya? Kok crowd-nya diem aja
He's
nih?
there, the safety net, the backbone of the team. As he has been all tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think he was the best player for this team during kickoff, but at Madrid, he's given us that classic Forsaken performance. So consistent and good for the multi-kills in all of these really big rounds. So up to map point PAKE here, and looking like they want to start the round again with a stack on the A site. Team Heretics might be set up for a fast play themselves.
There's the coin flip here with a util set flying off the lid. One yet though. It's deep onto the angle, deep onto the line. Another nade. Don't know if it's a tenor for that particular spot, but still he's there. Fakes the TP. Forwards of a slow orb. They have funneled them now. Team Heretics, they want nothing to do with this area. With the wall down, luckily. Player remaining behind, just enough to break it.
And Team Heretics, they do that same smoke in mid, and they have options here. Do you try to put some pressure in mid? Do you try to put some pressure market? PAKE playing passively throughout middle of the map, but actually getting a lot of information on the extremities. B main, A main, held by Mindfreak and Devi.
On the precipice now. No casualties, of course, but when it slow down to this, anything could happen. Something, there's no way. Going for walking straight down towards it. Paditech stairs as a trade. Mini boot. Fast on the response. Now forwards to the wall here with the draw, and it just fades away and breaks. Forsaken is out wide. Just down the ankles, walking for the mid round. Is Meunier out into mid. Lost. Man's just in the source here. Devi forwards, looks to just reclaim some of that ground here. Maybe a kill might do it. Maybe it might, but still Team Heretics are too disciplined. Well drilled. They do not want to let it slip now.
4v1 for Heretics to be able to deny the first of the map points that PAKE have got. This round was so bizarre. PAKE really scrambled by the slower pace. Team Heretics didn't put anybody on the outer wings of the map, grouped up in mid, and just waited for PAKE. to push for information. But what confuses me a little bit, Bren, is they already had good info over towards A main and B main. They knew that nobody was trying to actually take space in A main. You know, after the drone came through, one of them could have broken it, maybe set up some play to gain info afterwards. But they just went for a walk re-clear of mid twice. Once with something, and then once with Monyet, I believe it was, afterwards. So that's a lovely lifeline for Team Heretics to grasp hold of. There are still 2 chances here for PAKE to be able to close out map 1.
We've been hammering on about how important this initial map is. You know, the Sunset, one of the best maps for both of these teams. Even Mixwell as well in that halftime interview talking about it. Whoever wins map 1, he reckons will win the entire series. That's just how important it is. You can feel the tensions are running high here. The new guard versus the old guard. Chances slipping away despite the early beginnings to the series.
Now Team Heretics have seen that PAKE have begun stacking the A site at the start of these rounds. So if this is a little faster towards B main, I wouldn't be surprised. But Miniboo's not there, so that entry power...
What's with the timing?
What's going on here?
Now broken. They want to try and fight this one forward. Still,
they missed Benji.
They're weaving in and out the smokes. Yeah, this is just a confusing round all in all. Miniboo, he's through market. It's a wall through the window, man. He's already worked his way through and stuns up. Connects. Might break. He's still stunned. Hunter's Fury though. Connection wide here. Something back into it. It's chaos, man. Pure chaos. But can you expect anything less? PAKE, they thrive in it. Born in it. Molded by it. Benji left to pick up the pieces and maybe forge something out of it. But it's a triple race. You do not stand. You fall against this team. And map 1 goes entirely their way.
In classic PAKE fashion, the final round. The thrash comes through, and I think got to detain on both players trying to follow up on Miniboo. And those rounds, one team looks like they're in a disadvantage. A couple players in B main stuck inside the smoke, Smite Freak, Monyet, and yet their team bails them out.
An insane map 1, but plenty more to go. Do not go anywhere you know you're not going to want to miss it.
Gelo, abangku. Gelo. Ampun DJ. Ampun DJ. Gelo. Nyala semua ini, Cok. Gelo. Pante. Ini nyala sih. Nyala. Menyala abangku. Liatin plus. Ya, gak apa-apa lah ya. -1, -3, enggak -12. Cuaks. Ya. Cuaks. Ya. Let's go PAKE, let's go PAKE, let's go PAKE, let's go PAKE. Let's go PAKE, let's go PAKE. Let's go PAKE, let's go PAKE. Oke. Tadi itu band Breeze. No kan dia band Aghann terus kan? Aghann kenapa? Busuk kah? Sunset, Big Lotus. Lotus, PaperX-nya Lotus. Dari 2000, tanggal 1 bulan 1 2023 ya. Bentar ya, kita lihat ya. 2002 PAKE lah. 2000 anjing. 2023. Anjing. Ending 2024. Bulan berapa? Bulan 3. Sekarang tanggal 18 ya. 2002. Koncet 23. 2023. Lotusnya PaperX. Terus menang sih. Sunsetnya kenceng, Cok. Lotus Sosola ya. Sosola, Cok. Sosola, Cok. Kalah, menang. Lotus menang. Omen. 2 smoker bisa kemungkinan. Dawai ya paling Sky. Yang nggak tahu sih ya. Atau rajanya nggak ada. 1 sentinel, 1 duelis, kemungkinan gitu. Masalahnya sih rajanya ini si Raja Jing. Kalau kemarin lawan Genji, Lotusnya, rajanya ini tetap ya Davai something 4 second antara 2 smoker nggak pakai sentinel atau gimana nih, nggak tahu dah. Dua smoker, 1 sentinel, 1 duelis, pakai 1 duelis kemungkinan iya. Terus PaperX kuat sih.
So it's good to see him really just continuing to flourish here, but I still cannot believe PaperX pulled off this win. Like, it was looking tragic, Mitch, at certain points in time.
PaperX made the right decision. This is a roster that for the longest time had this rule that they don't make more than 1 roster change at a time. And I heard talking behind the scenes a little bit, hopefully not leaking too much, that Mind Freak was always on the chopping block with the one other player. Every time they made a decision, it was do we drop this player or Mind Freak? And every single time Mind Freak survived, and now he's grown into this player that's recognized as one of the best in the world. And we said it was a close game all the way.
Gue pengen lihat crowdnya diem aja gitu. Yang dari tadinya bawel. Let's go heretic, heretic. Kimbe. Ntar kayak Brazil kemarin. Kalah sama fanatik loadnya. El
Hey guys,
Crot.
I'm standing right now with Nilzinho from Team HyperX. Nilzinho, give us a preview. What did you tell the boys in order to get their mental back into the game, especially after that map 1, and get them ready for Lotus?
Yeah, so for me, it's been our map.
Are you ready?
I think the boys are.
Are you
pretty
ready?
Crisp individuals.
Wait.
Shots were hitting. The reason we lost that was our fundamentals just went out the window, and you do that again against a team like PAKE, they're going to pick you apart. So it was a very harsh reminder of to get our fundamentals back. And
Observer tadi sih. Gue pengen lihat.
Standing right now with Nilzinho from. Give us a preview of the boys and into the game, especially.
I think the boys with the shots just went out the window.
Ready for map number 2. Mika standing by.
From Team HyperX. Nilzinho, give us a preview. What did you tell the boys in order to get their mental back into the game, especially after that map 1, and get them ready for Lotus?
Yeah, so for me, it's been our map.
Oke, in game. Global apa sih? Biasa aja anjir bannernya. Dan segala macem. Oke. Gas.
About W Gaming truly living and breathing here in that first map. But the thing is, though, is that you got to put that first map aside, Mitch. Now you got to focus on map 2, Lotus, and we'll see what we end up getting as far as the agents are concerned here. Don't really expect too much shenanigans, but I think ultimately this is really just a Heretics team that now is going to be feeling the heat on that stage.
Absolutely, and we mentioned Mindfreak a lot. His Viper is good, his Omen is even better, and we expect him to be switching over to that here on Lotus, having already fired off on all cylinders. I think he's about to add another one. This could be dangerous for Heretics, because I've seen the side of PAKE snowball before, and I'm starting to feel it this time.
Yeah, and it was a close game that Heretics lost on this map against Sentinels. I think their biggest issues on their defense was that Sentinels was fighting forward into smokes, getting ahead of their retakes and really punishing them. But it has been a stronghold map for this squad for quite a while. Looking at the agent select now. Thankfully, something playing Jet. I don't like a double duelist comp.
I was going to ask you about
PAKE.
I was going to ask you about the double duelist. What do you make of that, Mitch?
I certainly prefer the Jet over Arena, which is what he's been running before. Although, considering that it is something, again, he's one of those players that could make the argument for it. But I think this composition, it can allow them to go back to that dive that they're so goddamn good at. The pressure is going to be applied to Heretics from the second those barriers go up.
You're sacrificing the Viper, so on your attacking side, you tend to be a lot more telegraphed on these hits, and you're sacrificing that second initiator, which means re-clearing is hard. Heretics, a chance to stay alive here in map number 2.
All I know is this joint's going to be insane, and I just want to jump back into it. Let's see if we get a map 3. Brent, Sideshow, you take it away.
Are you ready?
Exciting one here for Lotus, isn't it? My goodness, a lot on the line in this elimination game. Heretics, but their backs against the wall. Listen, the crowd might be behind them, but listen, all the sport in the world sometimes can withstand against the W key, which PAKE they know perfectly well at the back of their hands.
So when we saw Heretics play against Sentinels, Neil talked to them after map 1, map 2, they came out destroyed. Have Heretics tightened up those fundamental plays?
What they felt like was missing here. One-way smoke boot. Just tucks himself behind. He got plenty of backup right behind him now, but PAKE don't like the
they
sight
do not
of
like
it.
As soon as that one-way was put down, they're like, nah, we are not going down. A very greedy turret there, being placed by Benji, letting them know if anybody's over towards A at all.
And they don't care about a util either, disrespecting it. Alarm bot triggered. I mean, listen, not even worried about the protocols for clearing through tree. They're only just doing it now.
Yeah. And I'm a little bit... Oh, here we go. They're going for an aggressive post plan as well.
Trip broken immediately, one way up through. So Nate set this up as soon as the first wave is going to be sent flying from Heretics.
Heretics played every single defense round on Sunset as a retake.
They're all going stairs.
And doing the same again here.
They're all going stairs. I don't think PAKE are ready for this one at all. Look at this. They have to try and fight them forwards. They're dashed by something. Damage done. Look at that. No kills collected. It's all being filled up in the feed full of green. And greedy maybe perhaps is what you would describe for PAKE. Trying to play that one. Just misreading the kind of timing they could take.
That is a great retake setup though from Heretics. Most of the top teams that we see play do put the pressure over towards Heaven. If you think back to how Sentinels play the post-plant setups as well, same one way, a duelist in position up towards there, somebody playing pit. Usually there's going to be a pretty heavy denial in that area. And Rian's just wanders in.
And
mean, he has such a free passageway to the site
Stealth
based
yang
on the
ada yang jaga,
utility
Cok.
that they throw from tree. And yeah, Alex head in hands there at the gap that's developed. And remember, last time we saw PaperX invest into this kind of round. They went for some kind of force after losing the follow-up, but deciding not to go for a force buy here.
Ooh. Whoa, chances there.
Yeah, very risky timing to go for, actually. You got to be worried on timings like that.
All up, all down. Marshall in the hands of something. Point pistol round, though, for Heretics to have won. Didn't end up winning any of them in that prior lap. It's part of the reason why PaperX were able to take it. You know, they were losing in some of the other metrics.
Cover going out.
Okay, hell of a kill.
Yeah, that's just a peek from Paddytech, punished.
Trailblazer spotted that, so Benji, he's noted. He is going to be playing onto that corner. 62 health, won't go down to a single shot of the Sheriff, but the Marshal might do it. Has to back away from this, surely. Still, tucks himself, but now backing away, respecting with a flash in his face. Out over the top, crouching and praying. You don't get your head taken off.
Another retake round for Heretics. Every single defense round in this match so far.
And
Executes
apaan nih?
for it. Mosh pit.
And
We're going to be landing towards the back of the sides of flash forwards. Miniboo's already there. Smoke's cutting up all the available angles. Mind Freak Sheriff still not dissuaded. Beautiful flash. Forsaker.
Nice, Forsaken.
Discordants have 2. 93
Nice
health
one.
though. It's working with a bit of a disadvantage. Spike. Over the top. No way.
Son, Guardian, Son.
The movement predicted
Son.
with almost ease and finesse.
Nice.
And it's just a repeat of that first map, except on the other side of things. PaperX winning their eco.
I think the big read there is that he doesn't go to try to break the wingman immediately.
Yeah.
And so Rians just thinks that he's not facing the wingman at all.
Miscom itu.
Completely misunderstanding where Forsaken was repositioned to. And that's
cerebral stuff, man.
But I mean, that's devastating for Heretics again. Neilzinho is going to be screaming.
Fans are too, apparently. Here we are. Exchange of the util. Skirmish time. Paranoia. Flying.
Stun misses.
Stun missing. Classics. Still want to take it with the rifles. There's a lot of danger here, but okay. Might just be able to bail themselves out. Benji forwards into corner. Locked down.
Nice, something.
With something. It's going to be handy with the guns in his hands. Doesn't matter what he's got.
Couple weak players, but a 1v3 for Paddy to try to take when he's only got
Aduh,
Heretics
timing ini mah.
Classic.
Nice.
He's going to be watching for the smoke, so Mind Freak shuts down any available options, any weaknesses there.
And so, again, Brent, I mean, this is actually one of the first rounds where we see Heretics not playing for the retake, right? They're actually fighting over rubble control at the start of the round. But I'm worried because in most of these rounds, they are just giving PaperX the plant. And I don't think that that's a feasible way of being able to play 100% of the time. Doesn't matter how good your retakes are, you're not going to win them all. Yeah. You're going to give PaperX too many advantages with the clock on their side once they get the spike down. And their positioning, able to adjust.
Oh iya, gue lupa.
See what they end
Anjir.
up doing here. Ult
Bet.
starting to get online. Seekers could be potentially large. Something has it on.
Hello. Yeah, he uses the smoke
Udah
across
otomatis
here.
PaperX
There
menang
are
aja
many
nih.
players waiting for this, but he has the
3
dash to
point
get
aja
himself out of there.
Lupa gua,
Engages
Cok.
forwards. It's a call going to be made here by Forsaken, using the Seekers now on top of it. Molly at the feet there through the door. Paddytech, a few stray bullets. Moniette was fast through with that satchel. One more, 2 hands. Going to be using it to try and cut himself up onto the gap, but it's a good call.
Nice.
Heretics,
Yep.
Oh,
or at least it was. Topple in the end. 2 of them just trying to fight the one section of the site. Now backside control. Game for Moniette, but he is alone. Wingman down and out here, just spamming randomly with the bullets going all over the place. Mini boot doesn't stand a chance of getting that trade.
And if Neilzinho was worried about the fundamentals, again, he is not going to be impressed in that situation. Wingman goes out to clear one side of it. Miniboo still has slide available. They don't go for a double push through the smoke to try to make sure they can trade anybody who might be playing over towards the pit or the box. Rians just jumps out the smoke on his own.
Discipline is slipping.
It is, and this is one of the biggest things actually that has powered both of the EMEA teams through so much success. And if you can't hold it together when the pressure is on, you aren't going to be able to make it deep in tournaments like this.
It's never been on more than this. Heat up to max. It's elimination. Keep reminding everybody at home because sometimes the format can get confusing. Yeah, that play, I mean, listen, that call just collapse onto the one section of the site, almost goes their way. They get blinded up in the process, but...
Yeah. And Divide finding big value out of playing solo initiator Sky, something that most teams have moved away from. This looks like Miniboo wants to take a timing. He goes for this kind of flash peek, looking to try and take a fight really early on with a smoke.
Lu bisa diem nggak?
He's normally good for it. It's just been so sharp.
There it is. Plenty more where that came from, Miniboo.
So good.
Yeah, rings true.
But on the other side of the map, Boo tries to fight solo over towards Mound, dies. That opens up the C site. And it's only Miniboo that has a rifle online. Look how quick something is to get into position.
Twists and turns, but he has to adjust here. Surely there's a high-low goal.
Nice.
What's happening over here? Okay.
For apparently no reason, Mindfreak is taking a 1v2 and winning it because he has the rifle and you don't.
Yeah, why not? Rians, by the way.
Nice.
Okay. Only at the sheriff anyway.
And Miniboo, who opened it up, is now asked to ace in order to close it. If there was any chance of being able to win the Thrifty, which it doesn't look like there is.
Yeah, all over the place.
And again, I think a lot of people are going to be thinking to themselves, right, we were just waiting for PaperX to wake up. But they have had some rough tournament showings in the past.
Slow start for 2023.
Yeah, absolutely. But on the other side of things, I feel like a result like this, if it continues spiraling out of control, is gutting for Heretics, because they were only a few rounds away, as the desk was saying at the beginning of this match, from putting Sentinels in this kind of position.
Yeah.
And we saw, if they're having close games against Sentinels, and they were the first team to be able to qualify through the playoffs, they should be able to be considered favourites in a matchup like this, you would think, with the current form of PaperX.
Surely.
But so much of the pressure that PaperX provides, with their willingness to take fights, and their pace, is catching Team Heretics off and opening up cracks that other teams have not been able, really, to exploit.
Yeah. You know, PaperX is public enemy #1 for the armchair analyst. It's already been through that whole spiel, don't get me wrong, because
you get shot.
They play. Yeah, you get shot, you die, Mindfreak. Classic example, thank you for showing me. And, you know, they don't play Orthodox comps most of the time. This is maybe the closest you can get, but they don't even play double controller here on Lotus. But it's about the tempo and timings that they take, and the confidence in which they take those fights, and it really does rattle some of these teams if they haven't played against a team like this. And listen, there's not many teams in EMEA that are going to be playing like PaperX.
And look at the amount of utility that Team Heretics are now conditioned to put into Mount. And PaperX, they're going to start to spiral off in another direction. Benjifishy has a good retake ultimate here, but is in a fairly committed position on site. Not completely. How do they want to play this? There are 3 players ready to defend.
Round the back. Goes, watch for 2 players. They're onto the corner. Someone doesn't get away with it. Forsaken. An attempt to at least grapple some control of the map. He's alone though doing so, and he will be falling. So, great opener now for Heretics.
And a change-up, right? They played that actually to hard anchor the site and flood defend instead of going for the retake. And I think mixing that up is probably going to be a bit of a win con for them. You don't want to count PaperX out though, still in a 3v5.
Smoke propped. Where is Freak off to?
He's taking risks, exploring over towards Heaven.
Nice.
He just peeks into that. I mean, Heretics are playing that with the most discipline, the utmost discipline. 2 players. At least going to be trying to get into position to trade this one here forwards. They hear it, the dash. And now with a lockdown placed down, it's all orchestrated
Nice
in
man
time.
flick.
Something seems to
Nice.
That is ridiculous. Still, to his back here, plenty of players now rushing into it. No detainment. Forward,
baka
taking a fight, and it is galvanizing, sticking
Nice,
onto
nice,
the fuse,
nice.
but a stray shot
Calm down,
found.
calm down.
Running out, Miniboo, what a time to come alive.
Outrageous round from Miniboo. His team needed it. That was almost thrown away. Heretics were up in a 5v3. Mindfreak went wandering out through Heaven. He caught Boo, and something was producing Magi with the operator on site. The first kill, he finds the timing, but the second kill, Benji knows he's there.
Oh! There's a jump spot as well to jiggle to bait out the initial shot, and Miniboo, he saves the day.
It's this final one, to me, that's almost the most impressive of it, because he has to react to Divide being there and hit the headshot. So now we see more of this rubble pressure as we get into the round.
Yeah, we are in the thick of things.
Yep, something dashed out, already burnt that. Looking to try to take an operator shot early. And So Heretics have made this adjustment on the defense side. We are going to control rubble, even if it costs us the mosh and the dizzy at the beginning of the round. You know, we are just going to invest those. But I do like the way that Miniboo is rotating instantly after going for that stun at the start of the round. So they just make it feel like there's 3 players over towards A, and they still have the Neon ready to go for a push like this.
Also cool. Facing down with the smoke. Shot going wide there for something. Looking out with his life, or does he want to go for seconds? You can never really tell. Deep up position. Does Boo get spotted? Doesn't look like it. Yep, Munier's right behind him. There's no protocols in place for this one, and he's playing it patiently.
No.
For the 2, and they are beamed down. No chance with the spike dropped at his feet.
Wah, time out ini udah time out.
That's just a big mistake from Devi there. Not using the dog to try to check up top. Not thinking about that. Something. This spike into the pick on Miniboo is going to get cleaned up by that.
Time out ini, time out anjir.
That's one you do not see that very often. Teams not thinking about clearing top of rubble. Instant hit of the red button there. Alex, slam on the desk. Accidentally hit the timeout button. But I mean, when you see situations like that, you do have to remind your team what's going on a little bit. And on top of that too, I really feel like the way that Team Heretics are playing their defense macro is working here. That's another thing that Neil Zenio pointed out in what was a fantastically articulate coach interview, where he said, yeah, our fundamentals are missing, but also Boo lost control of the macro because everybody else is so frantic trying to take their own fights. And you need, a team like this in particular, needs one central idea. Yeah, maybe you can link it to the decentralized nervous system of PaperX the Octopus, right? You can let those kind of teams run a democracy of IGLs all meeting together in Athens to decide where they want to hit the side. But for Heretics, they need a hierarchy. They need a leadership figure that's going to put them all on the same path. And I think their game plan for the macro defense here is really good. They put pressure early towards rubble. You're going to see it again here, I bet. You know, a stun, a smoke, the mosh being used as well as a dizzy. Rians picks up the dizzy. Miniboo is already booking it over to C, expecting a reaction on the other side of the map. And you know, if PaperX decide to fight, Miniboo will stay.
Careful.
And this time, it looks like they want to fight with the showstopper. Heretics might have to be a little worried.
Devi with the Odin spam as well. It's going to be spamming a potential angle as well that they're going to cross themselves into. Here it is. Colliding, clashing. Battle lines drawn. Rockets sent flying. That's Heretics. They reign supreme. Don't you dare step forward towards A rubble. Full territorial control.
But PaperX are not going there again. If that was the round called by Alex, he will have been expecting a very different outcome. How on earth did Monya get so overwhelmed by Miniboo? Every time I watch Miniboo play the Neon, I am outrageously impressed at what he does. He somehow managed to dodge, duck, dip, weave his way. What are they pushing there off the back of the paranoia? He slides underneath Monya, shoots him.
One enemy remaining.
Right in the perineum.
Go big again! Go big again, right? You're getting glimpses there, potentially just a comp getting outvalued. I mean, you don't have the same tools to try and take a pound-for-pound fight towards rubble control. And now Heretics with that in their back pocket, looking to condition again. Look at it, they sent similar util flying over towards the A side. But PaperX have different ideas. They're in through B. Lambot, it's going into a completely different direction. Not sure what happened there.
Mampus lu. Patite.
Paranoia forwards. Boombot, though, he's still target. Boo is going out of there.
Boo was concerned about someone pushing even through the Viper wall. That's why he took so long to go for the TP. But it's left PaperX 2v4. And the score tied at 4v4. This comeback from Heretics has been lovely, and it doesn't look like it's showing any signs of slowing down.
Wonderful beginning, especially for the defense side of Lotus.
Certainly.
You keep this this lead, this should be lead, you know, expecting it, and yeah, I mean, inevitable at this point.
There was a chance there. The Forsaken just slipped through him. Boo decided to watch something different, but he's on point with it. And PaperX, again, it's these macro ideas that they're now starting to struggle with a little bit. This time, they're like, right, well, we're not going to fight rubble, but if they're committing 3 players to A at the start of the round, we're going to try and take that early round timing
30
and pounce
seconds left.
somewhere else around the map. B seemed like a good idea, but they just weren't able to capitalize. Even with Rien's peeking with utility in his hands. Paddy got a very fast response with that snakebite going down. And Monya, the final one left for 10 seconds. Just has his aim in the wrong direction. Heretics take the lead. And frankly, they've already done a spectacular job on their defense. And that's after going 4-1 down.
I need this.
It's building up for Heretics on top of it. It's all looking good.
Final bullet there that Patty decided to spray with, where he catches Mindfreak. Not quite sure if Mindfreak himself was vulnerable, but there was a snakebite down there to try to put pressure on the players getting in.
Squeeze being put on these PaperX players. What will be the answer? Get away over towards C. Getting a move on, getting a bit of a jog on there. Dash now activated something. Updraft, forwards.
They've beaten Miniboo to the site.
Yeah, right into it, aren't they? Towards the back of the site now. The turret taken care of. Do they want to seek to try and fight this one? Surely Heretics might have some protocols. Listen to this. Look at this, man. Just straight through the gap. Something. Glides his way out of there. Plant now down. First kill. Advantage now for them, but Thrash in through. No, broken almost immediately there. And the Trip really doing the most to slow it all the way down. Trailblazer. Now being utilized. Device Spots 2 is going to be calling out for his team. Dizzy dealt with. Popped.
Nice something.
To the sky
Nice
here,
something.
to the gunfight.
Nice something.
Is unleashed entirely. Sky will not take no.
Oh no.
Ace stolen away, but I don't think they care. It's a round on the board.
And finally, PaperX find that early round timing. Right, they go over towards C at the beginning of this one and create themselves a lovely little angle for something to fight over this one, over the top of the smoke. Great stuff. And don't overstay their welcome either. Bit of anti-synergy, I think, in terms of Rien's utility as he went to try to retake. PaperX will be super happy about that. They can still make a serious go of this attack half.
Yeah, they certainly can. And everybody grouped up again over towards C. Listen, if it works, just keep running it. Apparently it's the PaperX way.
Right, but this time Paddy is there so early, so there is going to be a vulnerable here.
Yeah, this is the adaptation here. Nana Swarm, vulnerable, applied with the snakebite players. They are doubled up, moving towards it. Another flash here, just spots it as well. Glowing the halo ring around the head. And Benji Fishy, beautiful with the movement. Offsets it just up and sets himself up for another one, but still straight down. Mini boom! Oh my God! So good with it! Just impeccable stuff. And already anticipating the TP. Mindfreak reclaims the spike. The players, though, are scattered to the winds. They are expecting it towards A, towards B.
And this is where Mindfreak can absolutely freak their minds.
I was hoping you wouldn't say it.
But I mean, the mind games here genuinely are so huge, right?
Yeah.
Everybody on Heretics backs off, anticipating that Omen ult. And Mindfreak's tucked himself down over towards water. He's managed to engineer himself quite a good opportunity to win this.
Yeah, he has.
He will be facing against Mosh, Wingman on Diffuse, Paranoia. So Heretics, these are the players that didn't actually have to flood Defense C, so they still have a lot of util.
Shadows traveling.
First layer of it, Mosh, Diffuse, sticking through. No, 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 no. The bullets do not connect, but he stops it onto half. They still don't claim the kill. What is the call? Paranoia forwards, cuts off the sound cues. Rians, he's just sticking it. He knows he can. That is immaculate stuff by Heretics.
Wah, dia nggak bisa denger. Diffuse. Udah setengah. Diffuse lagi karena paranoia.
And Heretics take themselves into the lead. So now PaperX, from a macro perspective again, Brent, what do you go for? Because you thought the C hit was going to work. You thought you could beat the timing of Miniboo getting over to the C site. And instead, it's Patty who runs in to help Benji. And Patty, he just goes in there as a utility sponge.
Oh, yeah.
But it allows everybody else to focus on Patty, and Benji gets that little safe spot to be able to pick up two. Same again, 3 players, control rubble for the defense. Paddy immediately sprints over to try to help Benji, anticipating the C hit. But instead, PaperX, okay, we're going to go for the late round re-clear over towards rubble.
Making noise over towards C. I mean, it does pull all sorts of players over. Boo, skipping a hop, he has to just try and tuck his head in, and he does, just narrowly avoiding the knives, but he can't avoid the explosive. The bullets follow it.
Lu nggak ambil senjatanya, boy.
In position,
Aduh,
way ahead of the curve.
boy.
That's something.
Did not think anyone was home.
Theft will reveal the location of a few of these players now. Still, they set themselves up into the post plan. It's a good position for it, but well, at least Mindfreak has decided to play for backside on top of this box. Now, it's unusual, unorthodox.
Last time the retake came from tree. Came from stairs, sorry.
Is again, once more players. Doubled up, Forsaken will fall. Breaking the util though, back of the site. Removing one, still with the judge in hand. Not enough can be done here. Mindfreak has got so much more to do, can't do it. Can't withstand it. Pit down, doesn't cover the defuse entirely.
It's not a good pit.
The sound. Q forwards, damage! Just about. And half on it, plenty more time as well. So Heretics, 7-5 finish here on the defense side of Lotus. They're going to be more than happy with that.
Yeah, they're going to be so pleased with what they've been able to put together. 4 out of 5 of the rounds for PaperX. We're right at the start. Team Heretics win the pistol, and PaperX break that, go on a run, and somehow Team Heretics are still able to get back into this.
And yeah, it all points towards the Heretics' advantage. Well, we know they're going to be happy. Let's find out what the fans think.
Hola, gracias. Estamos aquí con la gente del bar.
Hola,
How does it feel to be in front of this crowd in your house?
El crowd.
They are here to show the world that they are the best fan base in the world, that this is the best country in the world, and that team is the best team in the world. Solo me queda pedirte una cosa después de estas palabras, y es que puedes animar a esta gente a que le dé la fuerza a Heretics que necesita para ganar este mapa.
Señoras y señores, ¿quiénes somos?
Aghann.
Heretics.
Suara lu udah
Creo que con esto ya queda todo demostrado.
Suara lu udah serp boy.
Eso es todo con la gente
Udah.
del barco. Yo que os lo devuelvo a vosotros los casters. Gracias.
I got most of that.
Oh man, I wish I could speak Spanish. Because that chant was hype.
It was hype. Listen, the fans, but of course, are behind this team.
But I mean, I rolled a perception check there, 0. No understanding.
Yeah, but listen, you know they're excited, you know they're happy.
And they should be. This is a great position for Heretics to be in. Not the fact that they're down 0-1 in maps, obviously, but the fact that they put up 7 on the defense side and looking towards, on the horizon, a split where PaperX looked a little dodgy with an unusual composition. Neil Zenio talk between map 1 and map 2 may be becoming a thing of legends. We'll have to see if PaperX have got something to say about that, though.
Done wonders for them. Now the Tizzy popped early here. Something removes it. Did have to use his dash though in response because he didn't want to get overwhelmed, but there's no follow-up, no rush afterwards.
It's a fake presence over towards C Mound, right? When something fights over it like that, it makes it feel like there's a big stack over towards C, and instead the trap play is Monya hidden in a corner on A. Yeah, and he's about to give away his position.
I think the flashbang, he's just opened the door, blinded up.
Nice.
And it's a complete collapse. I mean, listen, could go in either direction. Still, only 2 players left to stand. Withstand that kind of pressure. Boo's already his way through, but he's being watched for. Understanding that fully, Benji, fishy nade out and wide, but couple of chances, but no dice, not with the kills here.
That is great. I love that pistol round play from PaperX. Right, when you're on a pistol round and you see utility and presence over towards Mound, you're going to think that the stack is over there. And teams are normally going to play some kind of 1-1-3 on this map. And here, I mean, the frustration from Boo, because he realizes he just wandered straight into that trap play from PaperX.
Important pistol round for PaperX. That's a definite silence across the arena. Madrid not happy. Sets PaperX up for a nice little slam dunk for the next round here, but okay, just Slowly, re-clearing out towards Mound now. Cam's going to be spotting it. Here we go with the judge. You should be able to absolutely eviscerate. Take your pick, Forsaken.
Aduh, di pisau anjir.
Oh my, where's he pulled that from? Knife in the back pocket, shanking the opposition. But he's far. He's going for a knife of his own.
Oh, that's amazing.
What am I watching?
That's incredible. Has anyone told the players it's an elimination game?
Mau di pisau lagi,
You realize your tournament life's on the line, buddy?
Lu ngapain, Lu ngapain,
Oh, I love how much fun PAKE have with every game. It is so infectious. I mean, the knife play here makes sense for Boo, right? He knows whether to play with the judge. Just run out of bullets. That one is just mental.
Oh, Alex is pissed, man. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, God. You would not think it's an elimination match. No, you really wouldn't. So, bonus round setup. A lot of util now. An explosion out towards A-Rob. All with the walls across themselves. Up in a counterplay. They want to try and fight this once. A shot nailed it with the damage. The nade on top. It's all being overlapped and through and found. So many kills. Offloading. PAKE on fire with it. Benji. A nice go of things, but not enough to withstand the pressure. And oh my, oh my, oh my. That is a wonderful round to win here for PAKE. That's a bonus round conversion.
Yeah, that's monumental for PAKE. Being able to crush Team Heretics there so decisively. Their economy is about to get out of control. And it also sets that fear into Heretics. Okay, we're not actually going to be able to contest Rubble. How? How have we failed to take Rubble against a team that, you know, is playing double duelist with a Cypher here? But they still have quite a lot of tools to go with, and they're willing to fight, they're willing to commit bodies.
Something might be able to just clean up here. Yeah, okay, despite the fact that he was blinded up, goop on his face. Angle played by Forsaken, he's stunned. They don't expect it. They don't expect it, yet they still find the shots. Forsaken, a bit of whiffage in play.
Go, go, go.
Reclaimed the gun, actually. That's a massively important one.
That shot was very close to connecting.
Web dulu.
Does only have 125 health.
Tadi 0.
That's going to take some of the damage out of picking up that Phantom, I think. No matter how good your aim is.
Trailblazer sees 2. That's a call now for the Paranoid play. It has to be used in response to try and push them back, but they want to push it and re-clear it. Together now. Angles watch. Mini Boo. You're the most to do. Maybe you can really stand and deliver the result you're expecting here. That is the danger when you hand this guy a rifle.
He's been so incredible. 15-9, but just winning enormous impact frags.
Cool, calm, and collected with the aim. Hands it over as well. Knows that he's the lowest player. Now he's going to be the bait being played forward. Something! Oh, hopes and dreams dashed to the winds there.
And all of the tension sucked out of the round in a moment. And that's the power of the Outlaw.
Easy, easy.
I think we've seen a double kill like that in a high-pressure round from the Outlaw particularly, but those bang, down they went.
Mana kolotnya? Mana nggak ada suaranya?
PAKE are definitely the team that's trying to use this gun the most. You see Forsaken something using it fairly often. Yeah. Coming into the next round though, full armor on everybody for Heretics. So they're not falling into the trap of ruining their economy, but if they lose this, they're potentially in a death spiral.
Someone watching it. Trying to take a timing there with the shots. He is pretty isolated. What are you doing?
That's mad.
What's going on here?
Hello?
Opens the door. Plenty of players. There's a
nice.
What? Just snaps onto him.
Oh, that's what he was doing.
Oh, that was what he... Oh, okay, he was just cheating for a second. Okay, yeah, no, I get it, okay. Thrash, clearance through into the site. They know it's open now, but something towards the back of it again. Can be cleared. Traded eventually. Remove this guy.
Please,
Pesky.
win. Please, win.
Problem into the back of the site. Yeah, 3 players.
Mini Boo's pushed up. Has the potential for a 1v1.
There's Heretics are winning their fights at the necessary ones. Rifles in the hands of these players, locked down through. We're going to be forcing these PAKE players. They've got to take a faster time in, and this is only 4 seconds. They're going to get detained. Forsaken, there's nowhere to watch.
I mean, to be honest, if he had been detained there, would anyone have even known where he was? Mindfreak opens the door in a 1v3, but it does not look winnable. Thrash goes just to clear out his position too.
Over the top, hello. Open door, open sight line.
I mean, he's got 2 fish to dodge in this round.
Mini Boo's already on the flank, look at it, he's rapid. Right behind him, so not even going to get the chance to save this rifle, or in all likelihood, there's no way Mindfreak expects it. He doesn't.
Not at all. And how are we about to praise Team Heretics for such a great recovery when the round began by something, being able to get 2 kills with an Outlaw in a position where you just would not expect somebody to get any. Look at that. Look at that shot. And this one, a bit more of a gimme because PAKE did swing right into the crosshair. And they got the punish early on. From there, Riens and Miniboo just holding positions, able to pick off both sides of that pincer retake. And PAKE are going to take a timeout here after only losing 1 round. I'm not exactly sure what Alex will have spotted. Maybe he didn't like the call for the next round coming up. Maybe he was wanting to adjust the macro a little bit. Thought that
maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe he's just telling something to tone it down.
It's possible.
Stop toggling. It's getting too obvious.
I doubt he'll have been telling him that.
No. Of course not.
But here we go. There's a lot of tension in this game now. Because as much as we are getting, as viewers, rewarded by displays of magnificent individual talent, the tension for Team Heretics in particular is raised. They've only been able to put 1 round together on their attack side. Normally this map is attack-sided. Yeah. We were talking about how much we favored them going into the next half when they were 7-5 up.
Talking about that tension. Palpable in the arena right now. It's like we're back in Sao Paulo.
Yeah. The fans that are here are willing Heretics to make a deep run. They talked about it seemed fated that Heretics got to Madrid. Nobody was expecting this team to go out 0-2. But if PAKE get another 4 on the board, that is going to be the reality.
Pinged just an outline of a rubble with 4 players stacking. The guns aren't ideal, but they're holding for a refight attempt here. Yeah, and okay, it's baited out. Team Heretics seem to be aware of that fact, and now they are just making a great pilgrimage over towards the other section of the site. The other side, which Forsaken is holding with just a shorty. Benji Fishy going to be familiar with the double pump, but and they'll be able to navigate it.
The question for Heretics in a more general sense on their attack side is, when PAKE go for an aggressive stack like that, do we try to punish it by playing quick ourselves?
Stunned. Cage! Bullets going wide.
Because I think what you saw there is they add a pause into the round, just in case it's a stack on C. And they're rewarded for it.
Oh yeah, players dropping like flies now. Of course the weaken buy for them, but this is going to be evened up in terms of the rounds. Rifle has to be safe for something.
Yeah, he could actually send this one and build up to his ultimate, but he's going to decide to play it a little more cautiously. Not allow the ult cycle on the attack side to start building. PAKE there decided to go for a re-clear of rubble without the neon wall being used. And I think if there's going to be any cue as to where Heretics are fighting at the beginning of the rounds, I would use the neon wall as a really big deciding tell.
Just the indicator.
Yeah, because I really don't think Miniboo's going to be sending it very often from the games that I've watched without there being something behind it. Throws it there as a little victory. Victory wall.
Cuts off some of the sidelines. Will something keep the rifle? Yeah, he will. So
I think they are going to struggle a little bit holding onto this C site if only Forsaken is going to play there. I would imagine, I mean, let's start here. The Cypher's very good against the Neon in general. The Trips are looking to try and find really big value, any kill trip kind of setups. But I think usually you're going to want to put one of them for some kind of like mid-control or info towards another site. And I also think Heretics are just slow and diligent enough to clear common positions.
Interestingly enough, the Trips, I mean, laid down the B site.
Yeah.
Happy with something just holding space towards Mound. He was pre-firing for the Dizzy, but it wasn't sent flying. Turret in the one way. This will give them a good indicator. Has to get broken. And Boo is on a high ground angle. This guy will be able to see the exit across the side if somebody decides to play out of that Mound area. Not quite.
Yeah, the angle just watching the push up.
Yeah.
And I think something's more likely to go for that if Team Heretics put any pressure towards A, but they've been silent on that side of the map.
The Dizzy's there, Paranoia with the stun. I mean, beautiful util. Can't fault that side of Heretics' game. Deeply familiar with it at this point.
But again, Heretics don't go for something quick off the back of it. Once they gather information, they're trying to slow the round down and pick the right site. Against a team like PAKE though, who are happy to gamble, that can be a little dangerous.
False information, Mindfreak cancels. Did he hear the shots being fired at him? Seekers now through the wall. This is going to be breaking the door. Let's create an opening here. Mind free. Might just get to overpawn.
It's 20 seconds, Brent. This is too slow from Heretics.
And yeah, still has a nade as well. They want to go to B. They want to go to B. Did they clear the corner? Yes, they do. Aware of it. Trips. Trips, though. Exactly so. Oh, my God. That's precarious. Adjustment. Nasty with the spray. Something is looking beautiful with it. Odin. Spraying potential there with the neural fetters pointing out these targets, lighting them up. Can they find it? Still scattered, dashing forwards. At least with the satchel in flame on yet. It's forwards. He wins this fight out. Benji in for remain. At least a spike is planted for him, but it's a 1v2. 1v2. Nano Swarm. Slow it down. Still, he might have to just hit an absolute worldie. The time pressure, it's against these PAKE players. Munyet sticking. Kill needs to be found. Half on it. Defuse already gained. And a real chance for PAKE. They land their shots. It was favoured for them anyway in that particular spot. And a lead regained.
Too slow, I think, from Heretics in this round. Trying to split to a site with only 20 seconds left added so much danger. You know, even with Riens being able to pick up Mind Freak there, they're going into a trip setup. Sure, something does hit. An unbelievable 2K there. Outrageous. But just on the balance of things, there was so much danger for them to navigate in that kind of situation. And I do love the way that PAKE played that retake up through heaven, diving Munyet in and swinging behind with an Odin.
Last day, it's the call's made. Gonna hear this U-turn now, Forsaken. Playing up close to the tree. He's got an Odin spam. He's waiting for the door to be popped. Here, pops the cage. Doesn't feel like he can really play that position. That is a kill trip setup. On the one side of the site. Stuns. Rassled through. It's Forsaken in a spot to really punish this kill trip if somebody does walk into it.
I think so. It's from heaven.
But doesn't look likely. Trailblazer. Push the players back. Backside control. Now a fight towards Rebel once more, actually, with that flash. Now the thrash.
Can Benji stop these guys?
That's going to be the question. Benji right towards the back there. Updraft to avoid at least the detainment, but it doesn't entirely. He's going to be locked up, restricted, restrained. Devi just catching a bullet straight to the head. The spam by Forsaken. Again, this looks like, just again, an even round for Heretics. They earn themselves up to 10. The call has to be made here, and they will back away, so PAKE giving it up. Back and forth we go.
And Team Heretics, they tie it up 10-10. I just want to explain a little bit about how difficult the macro calls are when you play against a team like PAKE. We've seen Heretics are trying with Boo at the IGL position to figure out what the setup looks like and then try to slow the round down enough to make sure they're making the right call. This round, they decide, well, PAKE are just kind of rotating around the map to figure out where we are and gambling. So let's just send it A. Let's increase the pace. Let's not bother with these slower pace rounds. And let's just try to overwhelm them and hope that they're not force stacking A for some random reason. And this time, the stack isn't there. They get in onto the A site. Everything goes cleanly. Can you imagine if they ran that and PAKE just decided to fight Rubble there? Would have been a totally different situation. And now PAKE going for the mound presence. So once more, Heretics looking pretty good with this Rubble control.
Second Yoda, no, this time I don't think he's going to be pushed back so easily. Here's it, door switched. Oh my God, the guns! Running and gunning does not win it out. Knives in the face of Benji Fishy, couple in the chest.
And that's big, that's big. Benji shut down both the duelists in the previous round when they went for that flank. So now Team Heretics have to either push forwards to get control somewhere else or set somebody else up to watch behind.
Might be their aim. Heal online, something. Back into 100. Doubled up position, holding in the pit. Boo is low though. It's like Breeze might just topple him over. Here we go, a rapid offense approach into it, not clearing the corner, not expecting it. Really only just spotting the one, they're not going to expect the second, surely not here. Through into tree, satchel back and away, Boo. Again, as I said, he's low enough, still wins his fight, and Heretics regaining that lead right back.
Going for a post-plant setup there with two in pit. A little bait and switch. Taking that space forwards on the site instead of all getting stuck inside tree. And PAKE didn't send anyone heaven. They all went through stairs or through into sight. Nobody going heaven to try to clear out pit.
Kenapa lagi nih?
And once again, Boo finds a really important duel against Munyet.
Everything being invested into this round. can see it already. It's a C-take with a util.
Monyet's in position to break a lockdown.
TV into the back. He sticks it. He sticks it. Boo is in so much danger.
Nice.
That's a rifle given. Touch close quarters into the action once more. It's C. Trips. Not quite dealt with. Moshpit as well. Pushes them back and away. Surely you break this. Surely you break this, and you do. Spike not planted.
And now that Monyet's dead, Benji can go for the lockdown.
Do just that. Drops it down. It's necessary at this point. PaperX seeking to try and gain an advantage, seeking to try and take the fights before they're set up and ready. They're the ones getting punished. Two still left standing.
Welcome to
What can he do with the guns? What can he do with the guns into the pit?
If PaperX manage to find some angles that work for them, perhaps they can get lucky. Benji would die to just some random blasts in there.
Yeah, and the Judge might be the perfect gun for the job, to be honest with you. Glides up, close, forwards, here, can't land it, can't snap and adjust it. Mind Freak, spamming away. Beautiful pit as well, it covers every single possibility. And even just trying to save the operator, Benji knows that's his time to strike. Up to 12, Heretics can feel it, this is their lifeline, this is their chance to continue the series.
The last couple of rounds, I really feel like Monyet has had a couple of chances to be able to pull things through and win this map for PaperX. And instead, you saw him lose a duel to Boo, trying to retake that position over towards Tree, and in this round, doesn't find the timing to use his showstopper, when it would have been game-altering and propelled his team forwards.
The money dire now for PaperX. Turning point in the map. This round right here. Guardian purchases. Here in the setup, push back, doesn't activate the dash. He's really going to try and overstay his welcome potentially. Looks to get rid of that terribly. Can't. There it is. Finds it. Heretics are going to be throwing a bit of caution into the mix here, I think. They're worried about the showstopper that Monyet's holding in his back pocket.
Yeah, the more time they take off the clock, though, it could be a round-winning play. You know, if they end up going for a hit with 25 seconds left, Monyet's in the right position, it's game over. Throughout this all as well, Rien's is attack side opping. I assume he has a rifle there too. It's just that they want to hold this really slow pace. Normally teams will start moving at about the minute mark, which is just past. You see Heretics take a little bit of rebel control, starting to group up. Rien's ultimate here could be huge.
To Monyet though. Cross section with the walls.
And the time is ticking.
They're backing away.
Something is still at Mound. They've never dealt with this.
40 seconds.
This is the problem with playing so passively. They haven't taken any map control. They haven't forced PaperX back. At least Monyet is on the other side of the map, but something is right here.
Dash 2. Here it is. Headphone popped right off. Where's the next one? Won't get it, but still he evacuates. He's out of there. Buy some time for the rest of his team. Thrash will try and lay the groundwork. At least a bit of pavement for this team to follow through. At least walk up back onto entertainment. Not there. Updraft forwards. Mini boot. In the danger zone, 12 seconds left. Where is this plant and is it coming online at any time soon? They're choosing. They want to try and push all the way through. Monyet to the back wall. 5 seconds, no way. Everybody's fallen. Time. They're getting with kills. Continuation. Extension of play. Heretics not willing to go out so early.
This match deserves a map 3, and we will be headed to split. How have they managed to pull that round, of all of them, across the line? Baiting PaperX into going for the denial of the plant and getting the punish down.
That's ridiculous.
The showstopper just threaded the needle through to nowhere.
Absolutely insane stuff. Well, guess what? One more map to go. Elimination on the line. PaperX or Heretics. Who will we be sending home? Finding out after this.
Jokes. Waduh, gua speed gua nggak tahu ini anjir. Icebox. Wah. Mana ya? Cok. Cok. First blood 6 kali. Digong nih. Mau bahas monyet. Ayolah nyet. Itu link apa lagi anjir? Imgur teh apa anjir imgur? Ah. $4.579. 4.579 all in PRX. I wish to win PRX, please. KO ini PRX duluan gak sih? Salah. Oh, Taker duluan tadi.
We have, it's a BO1. You got to shake it off, right? Heretic certainly riding that high coming out of that last game. But with PAKE, what we've seen, even when we were looking at those pistols, even when you think like, oh man, PAKE licking their wounds, they will find a way to get right back in it. So Heretics can't let them back in.
Well, you know, one of my concerns is that Heretics barely made it across the line in that one. And then you look at Split, a map that they played up against KC, they beat them, and when it came back to it, KC had them figured out. They demolished them. You mentioned the EDG game. I think it was a 13-9 loss for their opponents. Well, PAKE looked a little better because Heretics was 13-5 loss. Agent select in and
PAKE, I'm happy to see this. They're reinventing the comp a little bit, switching to Vi on to a initiator here, the Sky, instead of what was previously basically that third duelist in the mix. So they still don't have a Sentinel, but their re-clears are going to be a lot stronger on defense, and they're going to have a lot more utility behind the 1-2 punch of Something and Forsaken. This comp will play a lot more similar to what we've seen previously in this series with these double duelist comps.
I kind of like this. At the same time, you know, Forsaken when it comes to a Yoru can be super interesting, but I think the problem with Split is you're much more boxed in terms of what you can do. There's not as many open avenues and not as much space for you to sneak that gate crash in.
Team Heretics in front of their home crowd, a chance to eliminate one of the best teams that have made it to so many international events before. If they could do it here on Split, what a moment it would be for the Spanish organization.
You're so right, Mimi. This is a massive moment here for Heretics to win in front of this crowd, but PAKE can leave them silent. Let's send it back over to Brennan Sideshow.
Thank you very much, guys. Let's get to it, man. Elimination game as it's already been set up, and we set our sights to Split. Now, I was anticipating, we've had some silly rounds, don't get me wrong, but I was anticipating something a little bit sillier. Maybe PAKE throw in that triple duelist once more. Hasn't been the case, though. Going back to something that's a bit more, I mean, tried and tested, to put it lightly.
Yeah. And it reminds me of Alex's arrival quote when he came today. He said, W Gaming is 2023. So we've got to figure something out for this year. And this really feels like Madrid has been an evolution process of PAKE trying to figure out their identity, struggling to reinvent themselves a little. Let's see how good they look running basically last year's meta composition, except with Monyet not on the Astra.
Benny Boo. Straight up through. Look at that. Smoke to cut off the at least backwards retreat potential for the punish, but everybody just wants to react into this one. PAKE through into B, they realize it's an open site.
Just looking for the hard lurk player, but I think PAKE's comp won't have as much of a hard lurk.
They're in backside. Looks like they want to try and take a fight.
Paranoia.
It's Paranoia. Off of whose contact? Something's here. Let loose, let rip. Boo hits the deck. Now there's plenty more players just trying to scoop up and vacuum back up that space. Heretics are worried about it.
They're using the flash there to stop the trade, not to set up the kill. Hyper confident that Something's going to win the duel.
Now just walking right into it. Look at this. Forsaken! Nice. Oh my!
It's another immaculate pistol round from PAKE. these pistol rounds and the thrifties, the low buys in general, have been really solid for PAKE.
It's been the major win gun for them, man. I mean, the reason why these maps have been so closely contested. The pistol rounds, the bonus rounds, the ecos.
Yeah. Forsaken even going for the shorty in this round, just so that he can set up a play like that. So good. Boo's scratching his head just a little there. Another round where Team Heretics were very much playing for the retake. They went for that early round aggression into the opposite side of the map. Kind of funneling PAKE into the B hit so that they could play retake, and it ended up just getting crushed by post-plant aggression. Got to be wary of that. Something is on a heater so far.
It's popping off. Stack though. Nade. Stun. Flooding back in. Lines it up, but Boo was able to just at least capitalize from the back lines. Forwards is the position of Rians. Round and around the pillar we go. The kills found once more for Boo. But that classic 3 versus 3. They haven't given up over of the weapons though. They've been dropped down. Not really reclaimable.
And I think that might end up being the difference maker. PAKE still really heavily favored despite losing people.
Okay.
Oh, very close on that timing.
Stealing sight.
Paranoia. Forwards. Just clipping the side of the head with the wall taking most of the damage. Something this guy. He's feeling it. He's on one. 4 kills. Against the eco. Farming up towards the Blade Storm.
Yeah. And that's amazing because
win.
Monyet and Forsaken both didn't really invest into that round. They can start to buy. Something's getting close to the Blade Storm too. And this has got real power on the bonus round. And I think this is what, again, like you said, Brett, one of the biggest reasons why PAKE have been able to make this a really close series so far. Putting a lot of pressure on Heretics when Heretics have looked better in the gun rounds.
Yeah. Looking a bit like a library right now in the arena, but a bonus round might just turn the frowns upside down for a lot of the fans.
Benji is hiding in this corner!
Oh my! Through, hiding into the corner, but what can he really do? There's a cage, just to play anti-flash position. Nasty, nasty adjustment. Snaps upwards, they don't know where he is.
Lost.
They're trying to hunt him down! Lost as anything!
And Something did not even try to get the trade. He went for a react play into heaven.
He's in heaven! Camped, tagged up.
That's wild! That is wild! When the Jet engages like that and pushes elbow, you expect, I would say 100% of the time, the Jet is going to then go back into sight to make sure you deal with that troublesome player. Benji normally should be able to get 1 there and then just get shot in the back. And instead he gets 3?
Oh, but my God, what a time to really shine.
And okay, it hasn't broken the PAKE economy.
I'm so good. Yo, sit down. Sit down.
But I got to agree. I got to agree.
Get out of my way.
Benji's been a nightmare for them to deal with, but fast, up mid.
Oh, again, you anticipate anything else other than it, Mini Boo. He holds it down, rooted in place at times, but just finds that kill against his adversary.
Another player who's just been phenomenal individually for Heretics. They've had the firepower today to be able to go toe-to-toe with PAKE. It's just about being able to, you know, get the really important rounds across the line.
Ball fades, spots it, 1 player, stun. Fault line to repeak. Flash through around the back.
And a re-clear. Something can tell the rest of his team there that clearly there's a stack over towards B Heaven if they're going to make a play like that.
Trips. Disgusting one out towards Heaven. That's to punish a player who might be just trying to updraft, satchel their way up through main into that spot.
And that's a classic play that Something will go for. What a re-clear. Beautiful read.
Timing could not have been better. Now it's left up to just a few stragglers, PAKE players. Nice movement, at least the tip. Tap! Not enough! Benji! Precision
30 seconds left.
on display, fully in control. Don't you dare set your sights or your feet whatsoever near his side, because this guy is on one.
He looks amazing. I mean, he must have gone for the pop-off after that round too. If he's already calling himself, I don't know, what word did he use? Great, KODE? I don't care. Throw all the superlatives out there. He is giving it.
Fuel to the fire here for Heretics. It wasn't already there. Silencing them. Look at that. Getting cheeky with it.
But he is looking monstrous over here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the trippy and broken sets up the re-clear.
Well, he set the crowd off.
Well deserved, but early. This is the final map between both of these teams. Everything's on the line. To think that a couple rounds like that are going to rattle PaperX, even in a crowd like this, oh, you would be sorely mistaken. These are tried and tested players who've been able to get it done before with everything against them. And sure, there are other reasons why you might want to doubt them over here on Split. Their first time picking up this composition after a while playing the triple duelist. But still, Heretics are showcasing they have a system that works. One of the downsides, actually, of Team Heretics' composition is that they don't have an info initiator. But if they can find good timings to flash re-clear areas, and PaperX fall into it like they did in the previous round, well, that's not a weakness anymore. Suddenly it's a strength.
The back of the timeout, looks like the call's been made. Guess what? Looking like they might have wanted to send it, but no, just pausing here in the cam. Up above, oh my.
Just some well-timed spam there based on the wall going up.
Camera taken out.
Benji's in the same spot again. Doesn't care.
By all metrics, I mean, that should be just a 1 and done. But the man's been making it a 3 and done.
It's also really good because it pulls people onto really deep, committed angles that the rest of your team can play off.
Nade, fault line.
This is
down.
This is dangerous actually for Paddy.
Giving up heavy control. Benji though, still, guess what? Same spot here. Yeah, not really with the guns though. The flashing is good and the connection does a T-flash. He maintains his composure. Locking it down and through with the riflesman. Yet, too much more you can do.
Even with re-ends, blinding the bejesus out of Benji there, he still manages to deliver in that position. He's so comfortable playing from there. Seen him play that spot so many times in EMEA throughout the kickoff. But you see, even when Moniak goes for that elbow push, it doesn't pull his crosshair. He waits for the next player through. And Rienz is sending those flashes so that he can play off the back of it too, right? He's playing himself into the spot.
I'm so sad here.
But yeah, something to clean up slightly. Early ramp at the beginning of this round. And this is the first time where we've seen PaperX, from what I can remember, play very spread across the map. They're fighting for both sides of the map at the same time. A ramp and B main.
Control of both of them.
I can't believe Benji is in the same damn spot.
But they also just keep wanting to go, despite the fact that Benji's been doing this one, and they're walking out,
No way.
Again, they don't expect it.
There's no way.
Again, a 90-degree snap to the side. Forsaken as a wrist breaker, but he doesn't land any shots in the process. And they're left stunned almost, reeling.
The fact that Forsaken, who is now playing the Rays, is not clearing that position because he's like, right, guys, Benji cannot be there 3 rounds in a row.
Right there.
That would be silly.
That would be silly. But sometimes silly's what it takes. Because a team like PaperX, something at the attack side reveals his hand. Everybody backing away though. What you were talking about earlier, Josh, that prior map control, they were gaining B main, A main at the same time. They're leaving something really to his own devices. There's so much danger here.
But look, if something wants to clear this corner that Benji's been playing in, he has to come out so wide.
Look at this, I mean, even with it, the movement, it's nice. No way. Committal, timing!
There's no way!
Boom! Oh, boom! What? My God! No one spotted him, no one pinged him. Mind Freak eventually cleans him up, but listen, reinforcements are a while away, and with the spike drop down, it's a save.
I would love to see that from Moniak's perspective. Is that the one spot? Okay, so when you ult as an Omen, your vision slowly improves over time. And I'm wondering, was he just looking in the wrong direction at the end of the ultimate? Could he not see Boo? Is that a situation where the Omen ult obscured his vision a little bit? Because often you will try to set up high-low peaks with the Omen ult. You'll use it as bait to pull the crosshair. Let's see it from his POV. He sees him, but it doesn't feel like he reacts quick enough or potentially comms it either.
Cleared too late. Cleared way too late.
That is a weird one. Wow. PaperX are genuinely looking rattled here. Not something that I was expecting to say right at the beginning of Split. They're looking a little mentally out of it.
Yeah. I And his early timeout's been taken by PAKE. There was one a few rounds ago.
He's missed the feet.
He's missed it. Can't quite see it now. He sees a no spot. It's exchange of the fire, the flash, no connection. Everybody grouped up towards B main. Some bite to the round, of course. Even with the limited weaponry of PAKE, never know when they're going to hit some shots off. But really, I mean, Heretics on full display, I think, with a lot of their defensive setups.
They're going to stun re-clear mid here.
Don't leave anything to chance. Trailblazer forwards, mini boot, just peeking out wide. Peppers them with bullets as they're trying to just retreat.
They stopped them before they even got to the trip.
Yeah, haven't even cleared it. Sagan's wondering how to break this one. Guess what? You can't really. You have to swing into it.
No, it's horrible. It's a really horrible trip to deal with. Very powerful.
Crossing back through main, running out of really opportunities. Jumping peak by something, back through, in and out. Drifting with the movement. Did he know the device pushed up onto this angle? It seems like Boo has that awareness. Forsaken through mid. There's a rocket. It's sent loose and flying again. Where's it going? Into the back and didn't kill him, man. He still stands tall. Try and conquer him. Try and take this side over. The anchoring players are making a mockery of the PAKE play style. Nails him.
Final bullet in the clip. Boo puts a punctuation mark at the end of that sentence. Do not come to be.
Time out.
But I gotta say, Brent, this was kind of shambolic the way that PAKE played this. Why are they peeking with an op through the smoke instead of letting the showstopper provide the pressure and at least figuring out, you know, forcing some kind of play out of him? Do you see that? Benji predicting the fact that Alex is going to be smacking his desk.
Yep.
I swear that's what he's going for there.
Oh my God!
I'm going to be honest, I thought there was going to be more there after the oh my God.
But it's another timeout, the second one. Short succession here for PAKE, and you can feel it, the necessity of it.
Am I overreacting here to say this just looks cooked? We
I
are.
think so. I mean,
we're only 7 rounds in. A team like PAKE can still come back, but the manner in which these rounds are going down. Benji's in the same corner of A. I mean, people are going to be calling that the Benji fishing spot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how these kind of things emerge within the game. And then also Boo just holding down B on his own against 3 players and a showstopper. These rounds are not looking good, not looking clean for PAKE.
Clean. I mean, sometimes when you mix up the comp last minute, you're playing something like this away from, you know, what you've just been screwing with, playing with an officials, things go amiss. You run out of the right ideas, especially if you haven't put it into practice, and it really puts demand on, you know, everybody to just try and cook up something to get through this. But the trouble is when you're running against such a well-drilled setup like Heretics, when they have these retake protocols, when they have all these ideas, it's just inevitable that you're going to be failing. If you are improving and they've already, you know, come up with a Google Doc 20 steps ahead, you're not going to have it.
Okay, but Patty's position right now, getting squeezed.
Yep, stun, lay down, Forsaken. Can't really move and he is being squeezed. So, a rifle obtained. Reward for their troubles. Now they're really just making the moves out towards Heaven. Benji forced away from the precious corner that he's been loving to play in. Back towards, again, screens, one-way smokes. At least the cages set up for him. Gives him that covering fire, and yet finally puts him down. Blinded. Brilliant! You absolute animal! You absolute beast! And Munyet, what can you do? Rolling thunder up in the air. Target practice. It's inevitable at this point. Heretics, man, they will not be dislodged from Spain.
If it's not one of them, it's the other. Benji does a great job. He even manages to get one again from his position, holds them back with a double cage setup.
What is that?
What is that, man?
One enemy remaining.
It's a paranoia play, another part of the setup, right? But at the same time, you still don't expect Rians to be good enough to pick up 3 off the back in such a short space of time.
Filthy, filthy stuff. Cutting it into the round, the options running out. Paranoia finally clears into the corner, but a cage to play into it. It splits it up entirely. Benji, Fishy, take your time. Take your pick, son. Finally, the return of the fire with a shotgun to the face and a vulnerability there with a snake by Camo. Follow through with a stingers. Hello, and open it. found and claimed. The site is theirs. The plant will go down. PAKE not going to be pushed back away from this one. 2v4 players are low, and enough out into the open that may be a possibility.
These players are
here for Heretics, 2v2. Seekers have to be used. It's just trying to count for the players' positions broken. Miniboo scared about it. Nade rebounds. Nade rebounds. Monyet in a 1v2. This started as a 4v2. No utility to his name. Doubled up. Heretics, you got to think discipline. Name of the game. A dodge, a weave, a duck, a play. Nice. And Monyet saves the bloody day.
The Red Bull clutch from Monyet. In the round after, Benji is screaming across the stage for him to step up. But I've got to be honest with you, Brent, considering that this was a 2v4, I'm not happy with it.
Yeah.
Enemy remaining.
In the sense that they get one on the board and they figured out how to deal with the A anchors, yeah, okay, good stuff. Disappointment on the face there of the Heretics fans, but it's mirrored within the coaching booth of PAKE, because even when things go well, there are problems.
Trip now set up for Ram. Miniboo, he's in their faces right now with the show stopping the movement. Little bit adjusted though, he can't quite find it. Flash pushing him away. Got to respect that one now.
He was looking to try to punish the Trailblazer coming out from Divide, but he couldn't quite. Forsaken had a nade up in his face. Yeah, they kind of called a cancel there. And Benji is watching. Mindfreak time tries to take a timing. Shut down.
You run your wee little legs right into the B anchor. Guess what? It's
we're going for Boo, are we?
Yeah.
Benji on one side, Boo on the other.
Good luck to you. How do you clear him? Boo avoids it, round to the back. Still with the shotgun. No way, he knows it, feels it. Maybe just hearing it, possibly off the Tengkyuuuuuuuuuu Panitek though. It took that timing, it took that chance. Gifted with one. Something's there. It's a flood defense, a flood play. Right in, resetting the aim! My God! Get out of here with that!
Shadows of the ace that Forsaken got previously. That was incredible individual ability to be able to push them across the line. You're not really doing anything about that. Heretics tried to increase the pace, tried to bring it to them. Double kind of walked out through that and just got picked off. Neil Zenio's immediately taking a timeout, and I think he's going to be trying to talk to them about maybe setting themselves up a little bit so that they have the perfect timing to get out through the smoke.
Yeah.
But there wasn't much of a mistake there. The timing wasn't that far off. It's more credit, in my opinion, to how good Forsaken's aim looks rather than anything looking too sloppy for Heretics. And to be honest with you, Brent, if PAKE are able to put another 2 on the board here and tie this up 6-6, it will be a miracle for them. Because they were looking so down and out.
Yeah, I mean, how would they even do it? I don't want to throw questions into the mix anymore. They've been proving themselves.
They have the showstopper to work with here as well, right?
Yeah.
And also, they've shown that they actually are starting to come up with some really good ideas of how to deal with these site anchors. When they went for the A hit, they had a paranoia towards where Benji plays. They waited to force him inside of his cage and then double cleared it. You know, they're really thinking and trying to adapt on the fly. Not so much macro adjustments, but the small stuff. In our site exec, let's put this piece of utility here instead to deal with this. It's taken them long enough. It took them until round 9 to look competent on these site hits, but they're getting there and it might be just enough. Gonna come down a lot to this though.
Yeah. Benji retreating to the back of the site nade. This will clear at least one of the trips, maybe even both if they're lucky. It does. So now no more defenses. Cages have to be popped off and the util has to come flying. It's an anchor, flood, call. Now the showstopper rocket through. Buddy, what a shot. Clay Pigeon shooting and he's removed the major threat. But through the back of the site, they're not ready for it. Fast on the tempo and PAKE are increasing it all the way through a wide face. Benji was feeling that heat. It's over. Just like that, the round is finished.
Spike planted.
Boo in a 1v4. Very few chances of success.
The round should be finished. The round should be finished. Okay.
And it is. It is. Monya and Something both going for the exploration. Even though Boo slips the cracks, something's there. And in that round, okay, there was an adjustment from Heretics too. Riens, instead of playing from over towards screens, he tried to get in on the site so that they could double up. But after dealing with Forsaken, they were just not ready for the second player. You know, once Monya swings into backside here, Rians and Benji are not ready for that at all. For some reason, they just did not catch the timing. And so, somehow, PAKE mentally resilient, one away from a tied half.
Feeling empowered now, setting it forwards. They change the setup. Seems like wherever they go, they're just destined to try and meet Benji Fishy with some of these setups, but they do clear the trip, at least towards B main, and they're keeping on yet in that position. Boo's also decided to just play a hyper-aggressive angle. With the Viper pit in mid as well, this is going to be cutting up, removing those options available for PAKE. If anybody tries to walk through the trip, tries to go fast through it as well, they will have that trip in the pit on top of it, but it's broken.
It's definitely Boo's position that's the most vulnerable, but PAKE are moving away from that. Into the stacked site.
And to be, what's the call? I believe Mini Boo's holding the nade. Trailblazer sends it flying. Actually predicting this one to just run forwards with the nice something already there with the blade swap out wide.
Nice.
Flash, set it up! Nasty stuff! Nasty one! Benji! Holy! What a return on the fire! Finally, the anchoring player removed 2 versus 2. Viper's pit. It's a murky, murky territory now. It's going to be sweeping across the site. A tap, forcing the util out, but finally the plant. To buy.
It's good.
Very
close.
Bullets. Almost going down. 2 versus 2 still. Patience being played now. Gaps and positions to be watched for. And what is the call for either side? How do you choose to play it? Tavai holding the angle. Stepping out wide, Padatek taking it in his stride as a game of timies. They're just bumping into each other. And PAKE on the brink. The pit will fall though, toppled. Decay back up to the health. Paranoia wide. Boo's got the smoke and a tap onto it. Spraying now. Boo sticking. But not enough. Tavai finds the perfect timing. Picture perfect at that 6-6. They've evened up the half.
With 4 rounds in a row. You can never count this team out. It looked so over by the time it got to round 8. And even here, Benji putting on absolute heroics. But the problem being, they needed to get the flood defend going so that Mindfreak couldn't pit. Once the pit was down, pretty much game over for Heretics. They tried their best, but we're heading into a tied half to decide this. It's not even a BO1 anymore.
Yeah. Anyone's game at this point, really. Anyone's game at all for the second half. Our final map in this series. Now, earlier we heard from Munyet. Let's hear from him a little bit about this match.
Hello, I'm Monyet. I'm the duelist of PAKE. I felt like we're not playing up to our performance yet from what we practice, but I believe that we will overcome this. I would say because this is my first time playing against EDG, and all the boys already played G like twice or 3 times. But I would say, I think we misread the minigame, and also we have like some like communication problem in those crucial rounds, I would say.
Not a lot really to play with. They're going to try and just almost run their way through it, but they're slowly being revealed every single time they try and make their way through. Finally, the Reckoning will fade, but Mindfreak now in position. A cove for Forsaken to try and almost fight within, and they are falling like flies. Forsaken winning every battle!
I mean, it's really hard for us, like starting very slow. And also happen in Pacific kickoff. I mean, the goal for this tournament is just we go 1 by 1, you know. It's not like we need to go to playoff, but if we had a bad tournament, I mean, everyone's just okay, you know, because we're not setting up the high expectation for this tournament. I just like want to go step by step, you know.
Maybe that's the key to some of the resilience that's been on display here by PAKE. I mean, just step by step, round by round, match by match. I mean, not expecting anything moving into this tournament. He even said it himself, you know, like not even expecting playoffs or anything like that. But they're on the verge here of removing potentially one of the tournament favorites, one of the arena favorites at least. I mean, still even footings. Maybe getting ahead of myself here, but something at the top of the scoreboard. This guy's been lighting the world on fire. He's been lighting the map on fire. He's awoken.
Yeah. You look at the 2 players at the top of the scoreboard. Benji's done everything he could possibly ask to do on the defense. But I don't see how he's going to be able to influence these attack rounds in the same kind of way. At least not easily. Whereas something on Jet in this comp, he can have enormous impact on attack and defense. If he's feeling it, he can force the fight. This pistol doesn't look like PaperX are in position to try to fight it unless something finds a timing up through vent.
Caught behind them. Having control, vitally important here. And guess what? Everybody just grouped up onto the side with the exception of NG Fishy.
Nobody is ramped to stop this retake from coming through. They're all on site.
Don't like the look of this post plan just on paper, at least just staring at the mini-map, because now, look at it, ramp control gained. Smoking off the main angle, look at them, they were trying to refight, it's just walking through these smokes, and well, with the decay kicking in, good luck to you. PaperX still here, Benji Fishy cleaned up everybody, that's another pistol round for PaperX, so consistent with it, to such a high degree now.
Yeah, and I feel like PaperX mostly have been winning them themselves by virtue of great ideas. That one, I think, thrown away a bit by Team Heretics. I really did not like what they were going for in the post plan there. Didn't make any sense to me. They needed to be repositioning to try to, you know, take another piece of map control or at least set up some crossfires. That is a rough fight. 3 easy pickings for PaperX. And they will take another pistol. It's been keeping them in this game. If the pistols and the eco rounds and stuff had been more even, Heretics would be out to a massive lead right now, but they're not. That is not reality. PaperX are winning in those important situations.
B-main take, nade, rebounds with the stun. Connection with the dog. Forsaken is looking for a little bit more, because it will mean his ult will be earned online. Look at that, just overpowering them. All picked up.
One enemy remaining.
The stragglers really dealt with here.
These are hard eco rounds for Heretics too. They can't afford to buy really anything into them because they're worried being pushed down onto light armor would be devastating against a team that likes to pick the outlaw as much. So there is some kind of knock-on effect of Forsaken and something going for that weapon as much. It makes those follow-up rounds after the pistol a lot easier. Nowhere close to any ultimates for Heretics. They can't even think about getting those online. Instead, they've got to worry about headshots coming out from the outlaw, because we have seen some filthy stuff from something on Lotus.
He's taking an early gander and peek down A main. And yeah, faking like they could be taking control of B main. Which they are, they just disrespect it. I mean, running straight past the cam, not worried about any sort of trap play, semblance of it, something with a dash. Enabled active. Smells like something is up for him.
But at the same time, for Heretics, they should be able to get a read on what's going on. This is like the most default way of playing this defensive comp, apart from the fact that Moniette's a little further forward than you would expect. But they certainly should be able to get an idea of what's happening. They're gonna fake like they're taking.
Whoa! That's a team flash with a paranoid connecting onto Forsaken, yeah, just trying to reclear.
But look at this. The defenders here are going to be faster than the attackers. They could try to react off the back of this, but PaperX have got the read. They know that was fake B main.
Pure pixel angle. All that adjustment there. Just one to the body. 140 down and out. Mind Freak. Off angle here could do some serious damage, serious work. Once more, nail it down. They're all stacked up. Flash rebounded, but he's playing anti inside the smoke. Drops down. Still got a shorty as well. Will it be cleared? Yes, it will. Rian's good adjustment. Snaps to the side, but they're not expecting the back of the site. But yet, still here. The Spectre, a bit of running gun, could do some work, but not enough. But the bullets just barely tagging. Reclearance down. Boo. Great work. Great work with the composure.
Important positioning from Boo there. Something they were lacking on the pistol. But I was still very worried. From a macro perspective, Team Heretics hit the site there as PaperX were expecting it, right? The defense is favored in that spot. And that's partly because PaperX are more willing to go for those rotates, hard reads, gambles. Heretics, sometimes the perfect is the enemy of the good. If you take your time trying to clear every single position, you actually end up giving more time for the defenders to rotate. And yet, they get through it that round. But that is going to be something to keep our eyes on, especially when Forsaken has a big ult like this. Getting ready at the start of the round to see whether anybody was going for early ramp pressure.
Push back up onto the angle. Oh my, doubled up flash, avoided and dodged. Forsaken! Hopes and dreams, talk about it, dashed away, rocket rebounds! Goodness me. Relentless has to spike drop down too. He wants a little bit more, Boo.
One enemy remaining.
Sneaking around the sewers, mini Boo. Sure your turn. Can you step up to the challenge? You cannot. Flawless. And that's that early work that Forsaken was putting in, just trying to farm up those orbs, disrespecting them, making sure that the kills went to him on the eco. Can use it to just set it up like that. Listen, they're probably going to win the round anyway. Probably didn't need the ult on top of it with those opening 2 kills, but he just seals it, doesn't he?
He does seal it, and at the same time too, that's an eco swing round for Heretics. So it's an important one to be able to secure. I think most teams will be happy in the 5v3 to save the ultimate for a better occasion. Maybe that's even the optimal play. But it is important to get yourself out in the lead here. PAKE now favored to go up by 3. And Forsaken has just been a monster in these split games individually.
Form-wise, it's really being decided.
Nice.
A factor at play.
He's just so good.
Finishes him off. 2-4, reposition a Mind Freak. Gets himself back into it. Dog's going to respond too. They want a few more. What is that? What is that? Disgusting. Satchel in their faces, man. This is relentless.
He looks unbelievable. The first half was Benji and Boo trying to hold back something.
Holy fuck.
This time on defense, Forsaken's just, you know, calmed something down. He's like, don't worry, I got it. I got this half. Hop in the backpack. Do not fret. What is this one?
Disgusting. Not even on it, man. Not even on it. But no, I mean, Forsaken not willing to end their tournament lifeline this early. Taking fate into his own hands. And listen, I mean, Heretics got their own ambitions, flames of it, but it's being extinguished right now. A timeout called for Heretics. Precious time at that. They need to get these players back on their feet because they're playing like they're rattled, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I think they are. They're playing a little slowly. They're not willing to match the pace of PAKE. And all of those mistakes that you were seeing earlier on are now getting covered up by pace and individual skill. The PAKE players playing tighter together now that they all are on the same page and getting powered through by just winning so many duels. We have not seen Miniboo come online in this final map. He's been amazing for the rest of the tournament. Unbelievable in kickoff. He looked like a top 5 player in the world. And here, he has struggled to get online. They need Miniboo now more than ever. Otherwise, they are at serious risk of leaving this Spanish crowd without a representative here. And an extraordinarily strong team going home early.
Yeah, heartbreak, tragedy for them. You think about how close the prior match was, but a deep push, contact, making a footstep here. This should be a level of awareness, Boo! Oh, it's just asleep at the wheel, maybe watching something entirely different, but the fight was taken.
I mean, that is so much confidence from Forsaken there, the way that he swings that too. It's so committed.
4 players, though, ready to fight back, and they do. Dropping something.
Okay, they get the information. Does that call the pivot? It does. There's more pace here with Heretics. They know that the A site only being defended by Mind Freak, who could vulnerable them. Oh, he slipped into elbow instead.
Positions here, he's revealed himself there, just layering down that snake by flash, dodge, now to stun. God almighty, he's in trouble, needs some backup. Where's the help from the rest of his team? Through and out. Mind Freak and Divide. Double up onto that one.
That's incredible work. How has Mind Freak stayed alive long enough there for Divide to help?
It's a 2v3 surrounded. Every front.
If
no control of anything.
If Rians gets a kill, he's got the breach ult online. It could be the only way they're saved. This Paranoia's headed towards elbow.
Trailblazer, aftershock down. Got to dodge it with a knife out. Now a plan. Rians now has the ult online. Does he choose to use it with the pressure? No, he dies! Or it's even active and instantaneous is the trade. No gaps in the play for PAKE here. And they can feel it. Smiles on the stage. They are on the precipice. They're in control of their own destiny.
Jangan bangga,
I cannot believe the difference between the first quarter of this map and the rest of it.
2 ronde lagi ya. Okay.
Slow start. I mean, it took a while for PAKE to even look like they were playing the game. The first 8 rounds, they were just out of it. I was ready to call it.
Man, it was chalked.
It looked incompetent. And then since then, they've only dropped 1 round. 1 round.
I'm convinced we're running old clips, but...
It must be. It's got to be. There's been nothing to be mad about.
No, that was just perfect with the fundamentals. One way disrespected. Heretics now grouped up side by side. They have the odds flash on either side, pushing them all the way
movement
back.
to cancel that whilst full blind.
Rolling Thunder now. This sort of connection, aftershock, paranoia, walking right into all of this. Util!
Nice.
It's eventually traded there, still in the smoke, playing it around. Quick scope, something. Monyet from the back to buy round the side. They can't hold a candle to it.
Nice.
The fundamentals, the flood defense. It's PaperX at their best. They thrive in it.
Going up to match point. This has been an outrageous game. An unbelievable game. And it feels like PaperX have truly woken up. The form we're seeing from the players, the willingness to fight aggressively with each other. They are flooding out here with not a care in the world.
No hesitation.
One single mind.
And this is where it all turns. I'm gearing up for it. I can see it on the mini-map. 5 players from Heretics all on the line. We're in the round already, grouped up, operator to meet them. And this could spell disaster for the Spanish org, the team of new players, new rookies, some of them experience at this wider stage. It could all just tumble and collapse. Dash now available. Re-swings into it. The nail in the coffin. One after the time, the hammer swings down and out onto the anvil. And there is no hope, no chance in hell. They've gone home entirely. PaperX eliminating the Spanish.
What a performance! What a resurgence! Insane individual talent. And finally waking up and looking like PaperX of last year. Eliminating a team that won every single map to qualify for Madrid. And then played an insanely close game with Sentinels, looking like one of the best teams that we had here. So many ideas, and PaperX takes that and tears it apart. In the final map, in the final half, they were clearly the better squad. A great try from Heretics, but they will be gutted. They wanted to go further, they had so much left to show, and now they're going to have to wait until April Stage 1 to be able to showcase it again.
It goes to show how tense and tight that competition is between all the teams here. I mean, when you have the best 2 teams from every region, it doesn't matter if a team's looking like they're in poor form heading into the tournament entirely. I mean, PaperX are slow starters. They've said this about themselves. They said this about Madrid as a tournament. They weren't really looking forward to really putting on a good performance and making playoffs. They didn't set those expectations for themselves, but they're continuing forward anyway. And yes, playoffs isn't made, but they have overcome an incredible challenge here today.
And I think there has been a struggle for this team to reinvent themselves. You listen to what Alex has been saying, and the whole team, they're not feeling confident about this. They're still trying to figure out what their style is going to look like with Monyet on the team. And for them to go, sure, it's still double duelist that they showcased on Split, but for them to change things up and still look really solid and still get all of that firepower out of Something and Forsaken is just marvelous. And all of the pace that they brought knocked Heretics asunder. That was not the same tight Heretics team. They looked timid on the attack rounds, slow to try to take advantage of opportunities, still trying to figure out how to deal with a fast-paced team like PaperX, who, like Mixwell said earlier, once you've played, they can be very difficult to deal with the first time.
Wow, an incredible series. I mean, with that all being said and done, we're going to send it down to the analyst desk to take it all down and away. Break it down, guys. I mean, if you can.
I mean, I'm going to try. We're going to try. You know, look, Heretics learned today about W Gaming because PaperX manages to close it out in, honestly, rather like intense fashion, but also it felt like PaperX were just so far ahead at a certain point. Like Heretics, they took their foot off the pedal, Mimi.
Yeah, I mean, once we got into that second half, it was a complete 180 from the start of that game. Playing this comp, just the utter confidence they're coming out with when they're flooding into these sites, like the casters were talking about. It's not a huge change in the comp, but it's such a 180 from what we saw earlier from PaperX. They are truly awoken right now.
Absolutely. I mean, the real danger was Benji Fishy to start things out.
Yeah.
He got those back-to-back 4Ks. He's top-fragged both maps back-to-back as well. The consistency was out of this world. A great display for Heretics. And one other thing to remember is they played 2 maps on the international scene last year overall. Now they got to play 6 here. A big learning opportunity for the organization and for this roster. I think there's a lot that they're going to be bringing back to EMEA.
But that's the big tragedy of it, because this team came out and looked excellent. They were just a few rounds on any map away from beating Sentinels. It was the same here, but they're going home, and PAKE is moving on.
Well, let's check in with Dryad for the Ryzen post-match interview with Forsaken.
Que termina siendo el equipo eliminado, pero los fans de PAKE nunca faltan. HyperX gets eliminated, but PAKE fans are always here. And I want to hear you guys, where are the PAKE fans over here? And I'm here with Forsaken for the post-match interview. Estoy aquí con Forsaken para la entrevista. Mi primera pregunta para Forsaken va a ser justamente lo que acabamos de ver, ese último mapa de Split en el que cambian su composición. Volvemos a ver a Forsaken con Raze y quiero preguntarle a qué se debía este cambio y qué era lo que cambiaba porque estaba teniendo un desempeño increíble. Forsaken, the first thing I want to ask is what we just got the chance to watch for the last map of Split. You change the composition and you go from the triple duelist to just two duelists and you on the Raze. And that's the main show today. In that second half, you were just going off. So tell me how and why you changed the composition, and how does it feel to go back to that race?
I think I realized that maybe these comments only work for Pacific because in this very hard, everyone just so good, and then I just realized that I think we need some info, some like initiator, you know. So I decided to like change the race and make Monyet go Omen because I feel like he's really good at Omen, especially surviving skills. I think he's really good at it. So I still can't believe that this is my race debut, my first race debut, you know, and I can win against TH. It's like really amazing, you know. So yeah.
Sí, lo que nos está diciendo es que se daba cuenta de la composición que estaban jugando antes de triple duelista, solo ser bien pacífico. Cambiaban esa composición, se daban cuenta de que él se daba cuenta de que necesitaban un poco más de información y por eso decide hacer el cambio a él jugar con la Raze y poner a Monyet a que jugara en ese Omen. Decía que lo conseguiría un muy buen Omen y que aún así no podía creer lo que era este último mapa. Ahora, también le quiero preguntar lo que ha sido, más que nada, su flexibilidad a través de lo que ha sido la región de Pacífico y dentro de este torneo. ¿Cómo se siente? Y si podemos seguir esperando, como siempre, esas sorpresas de PAKE. And we just talked about the Raze, but you've become one of the best flex players, if not the best flex players that we have right now in this tournament. Can we expect a little bit more surprises coming from you? And what is it like to be that flex player for PAKE?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I will play Deadlock or ISO next, who knows?
Okay, you know, I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I like become flexible because like I just love how I can create like a lot of stuff, strategy, and I just love being creativity. I think that's all.
Lo que nos dice es que de pronto, sí, cuando le preguntaba de qué otra composición y si podíamos ver algo más de él, decía, de pronto puedo jugar Deadlock, de pronto puedo jugar ISO, no se sabe, pero después nos dice que lo que más le gusta de ser flexible es poder traer un poco más de creatividad, de ideas, y eso es lo que destaca la creatividad más que nada del equipo. Última pregunta que le tengo, ¿contra quién se quiere enfrentar de este torneo? Who do you want to face in this tournament?
I would say if somehow we met EDG again,
okay.
You know?
The rematch.
Rematch, yeah. I think it's gonna be different.
Dice que si se tienen que enfrentar con alguien, tiene que ser con EDG. Le gustaría poder tener ese rematch. Eso es todo lo que tenemos de esta entrevista. This is everything that we have for this interview. But if you're wondering how those next matches are gonna look like, we're gonna go right to the draw show.
Hola a todos y bienvenidos a la Masters de Madrid. Os presento a todos el sorteo de los próximos partidos que vamos a tener en el día de mañana. Estoy aquí con Victoria. Victoria, you're going to tell us how this draw works, right?
Yeah, so it's a little complicated, just bear with me. You can kind of shuffle these around while I'm talking.
Nice.
So basically, during the Swiss stage, there's not going to be any sort of rematches that have already been seen in the Swiss stage. So what that means is that EDG and PRX will not meet each other again. So what this does for the draw, if they are drawn to be in the same match, then the second team drawn for the match that results in that happening will be redrawn. So if we get, let's say we have KC versus Loud, then Loud's going to be redrawn to be one of the other two teams. And then if EDG versus PRX is drawn, we will redraw the second team. And that's kind of how this is going. So 4 teams, but a little complicated. So we can go ahead and get started. I'll just have you pick a box and throw it to me. It's going to be match 1 of whenever we decide the schedule is. The draw order is not necessarily the schedule order, but the first match, team 1.
Chicos, voy a darle la primera papeleta de lo que va a ser el primer equipo que vamos a sacar aquí y se lo voy a dar a ella para conocer que va a ser
We have Carmine Corp.
Carmine Corp. Y Carmine Corp se va a enfrentar a
PAKE.
a PAKE. Vale, y vamos con el segundo partido que ya está claro, ¿no? Solo son 4 equipos. There's only 4 teams, so.
Yeah. Well, the first team drawn in each match is the higher seed, so it does matter a little bit. All right, so the first team for the other match is going to be Loud.
Loud, los brasileiros.
And then their opponent, by default.
It's a little difficult to open these boxes, actually, without
It is.
knowing where it opens from, you know?
Alrighty. It's going to be EDG.
EDG. Y se han dado partidos completamente distintos a lo que acabamos de ver hasta el día de hoy. Así que nos espera un día de mañana súper emocionante. Espero veros aquí con la Masters Madrid para otro día más de emoción, frenetismo y partidos increíbles que nos están esperando mañana. Nos vemos mañana, chicos.
Besok. Nanti malam. Jam 10. Oke guys. Sebenarnya nanggung sih ya sahur. Wah. Di Discord ada siapa? Tidak ada siapa-siapa. Oke. Wah, Alex.
Pretty much in the second half, you know. Like
Yeah.
I just think guys look good. It's the end of the line. You're either going home or we do something special.
Yeah, when we watch you on the camera, you are always slamming your desk. It seems like you're getting really
I
emotional.
honestly tried to do it less today.
Yeah, you're trying to treat the desk.
I was very kind today, no?
Yeah, we're working on it.
One time.
But I wanted to ask about how do you balance like your own emotions with when you talk to the team and giving them the message you need to hear.
Honestly, I think I just.
Oke guys, thanks for watching, thanks for today. Nggak ada sahur on the road. Sekarang udah jam 3 boy. Nggak mungkin kan gue live streaming lagi kan. Sekarang udah 3 jam. Kalau nunggu lagi 2 jam lagi. Nggak ada siapa-siapa juga. Gue pengen main valorant tapi nggak ada teman. Oke, see you in stream. Sampai ketemu di jam 10. PRX versus KC Carmine Corp. Oke. Semoga PRX win. Let's go. Bye.